Welcome, everybody, to Summit Point Raceway, Summit Point Motorsports Park. It is the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the Founders Region, PCA Potomac of the Porsche Club of America. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Brian Donati, and we're going to be bringing you a full weekend's worth of action here from the point, this beautiful 2-mile, 10-turn race course that, well, Brian and I call home. And it's going to be an exciting weekend of racing. The weather is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, Brian. And we're going to start things off today with some qualifying and then our very first race of the weekend. Good morning, Brian. Good afternoon, Brian.
I was going to say, we're in the afternoon right now.
I don't know where we are.
And I tell you what, Greg, as cars are just now going on course, you can sit there and see on your screen, you talked about this racetrack being home. Well, this racetrack has a lot of flow to it. We've talked about this many, many times. You've got to be able to get through certain parts of this racetrack if you want to make a good lap here. Some of these drivers have done it already, looking at practice times from yesterday and even today, this morning. Now we're going to get a little bit in the afternoon, going to get a little bit of heat in there. We'll see where those times go.
Yeah, indeed. So we have 4 different sprint groups over the course of the weekend. We've got our silver group, which is out on course right now for their qualifying session, and we're going to have their race here today. Then we've got our green, blue, and red groups as well. So this is the vintage group, the silver group, and those other 3 groups, they'll have 2 races tomorrow with our action starting bright and early tomorrow morning around 9:45. But right now we're focused on this silver group. There's appear to have a couple cars still getting up to speed here, Brian, and we'll talk about some of the times for some of these racers that they've put in here today. Most recently, Corey Friedman in his 1995 Porsche 911 was the fastest of the group in the VGTX class, but we'll get the timing up here now as our racers are starting to cross the line.
Yeah, I tell you what, Greg, these cars here, they went out, they were the first practice group of this morning, and then went out around 11 o'clock as well. So they haven't really endured the heat, and I say the heat, it's actually a lot cooler than it really is out there. It's in the mid 80s right now, but the track and you know, this track does absorb the heat pretty quickly, and this will cause some of these tires to go away. So you've got to be able to pick your spot where you want to go right now, get that qualifying time in. So we had one car just went by the start-finish line, and we had to look out the window here, basically shut that motor off is what it said. We'll have to take a look down at turn 1. It's that silver car right there. I don't know if he was able to get that started back up, but what ends up happening is this track, as you said, 10 turns, 2 miles. There's about 30-some cars out here right now, just around 30. It really does get congested, so you've got to find the open space to get that qualifying time.
All right, and so again, these are 20-minute long qualifying sessions. We've got about 4 minutes in the books already, and we're starting to see our class leaders there up on the left-hand side of your screen. Again, fastest driver on track. Again, here in this session so far, Corey Friedman in his 1995 993 chassis. That is in the VGTX class. Second fastest in the very large VO class, and that is for the racers that are driving some of the early 70s Porsche 911 chassis. Paula Miko from Fearless in the Kitchen, and I believe that bright green 911 chassis there just now coming into our screen, that might be Paula Miko. He's got a lap time so far of 1:23 flat, 1:23.038, just ahead and just a little bit faster than Jared Jacobs. Jacobs in a 1980 Porsche 911 SC, the yellow car that is out there. And then we've got Shane Cease in the 766 machine, another one of our green 911s. That's a 1976 chassis. And we'll probably talk a little bit more about Sean. He's going to have a busy September and October, I think, Brian.
I think you mean Shane, but yes.
Shane. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sure. I'm sorry, Shane.
You are the reason, and we'll talk about this from his personal life too. You are the main reason for that. No.
I know.
If you weren't with us earlier in the year, then you'll know what we're talking about when we say that.
And there's Shane right now coming underneath one of our 914s.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of individuals here that have a lot of track time here, Greg, at this racetrack. So, looking at times right now, Corey Freeman in the practice at one point went 1:15.930. So you can see where the heat is really starting to build in. The fastest he's going right now is at 1:17.447. So, again, you can see, and again, now that we've got all these cars out here for qualifying, space is limited.
Indeed it is. And this is, this track, as we said, it's 2 miles long, 10 turns. It is at its widest, wide enough for 3 cars. But the way that the track meanders at points makes it a little bit tighter for these racers to go side by side. And of course, this being qualifying, wanting to put in your fastest lap times, you don't want to be going for a long period of time side by side with other drivers here. You really want to be able to go either single file or maybe use that draft to your advantage. As we watch racers now coming down the fastest part of the course, down through the chute, turn number 4, which for many of these cars, definitely breaking 100 and probably close to 120 miles an hour. They've then got to slow down to about 45 miles an hour. So a very challenging part of the race course.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we go through the weekend, you're going to see where cars that go down that hill, Greg, to the chute of turn 4 and then get down in turn 5. And we've got one car that's gone off down in turn number 1. Possibly maybe some contact with the tire barrier there off the driver's right. So we'll see what happens there. And there it is sitting there. But Greg, we talked about this, again, as you come down the chute out of turn 4, by the time you get to turn, number 5 to make that left-hander, the track starts to come up a little bit. And as I say that, Greg, we are going to go to a black flag all. We're going to go to a WL black flag all, bring them in there for that vehicle that's down there in turn number 1. But the track right here in this screen, as you make that left-hand turn, that sharp left-hand, the track will start to kind of come up a little bit. And I don't mean physically come up. The grip will go away.
Yeah, absolutely. As the sun starts to get high in the sky, certainly this track, which hasn't been, I think the last time it was repaved was somewhere around 2015, 2016. Brian, it definitely, especially in this section of the track right here, the carousel, turns 6A and 6B, has a definite tendency to get greasy. And certainly will limit lap times for qualifying, not as much as a black flag will, of course.
Right, sure.
But certainly will make things challenging when racers want to go side by side as well. As you can see, the racers a little bit off the pace. They're going to be shifting over as they come through turn 8 here, shifting over to the right of the track and then coming down the pit lane. So let's do this, Brian. We've got now only about 10 minutes left to go in this qualifying session.
Well, this session is actually ended, Greg. So they're making everybody go off to the right. So this session is going to end, unfortunately, a little early. So I mean, I think I know where you were going with the with the next call. So why don't we go ahead and do that just to get them up, because I don't think it's going to be a lot to clean up down there.
Attention in the paddock. Attention in the paddock. Green group, please head to the grid for qualifying. Green group racers, please head to the grid. Your qualifying session is next.
Yeah. Have taken these cars, put them back, ended their qualifying session. But as you were, talking about, and as I was talking about, when we get down into that turn 5, that track's, the grip really goes away, and that's really where you have to go through your car and make sure you have the right setup as the weekend goes along, because this track's going to get hot. Even in the 80s is still not a bad. We've seen it a lot hotter here. And then tire degradation will come into play, especially when we get to Sunday, when we get into our enduro sections.
All right. Well, Brian, as the great folks with the emergency services teams here over at Summit Point are working to get that car cleared out, why don't we take a quick break? And when we come back, we'll have more qualifying action here from Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the Founders Region, PCA Potomac region of the Porsche Club of America. We'll be right back. Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control. When you pack up from the raceway and head home on the highway, remember that the engineering excellence Michelin strives for in racing is applicable to our passenger and light truck tires too. Michelin is proud to continue its national sponsorship of Porsche Club of America and Club Racing. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Looking to decrease lap times on the track without an engine overhaul? GT Racing has a wide range of fiberglass and carbon fiber body panels, along with European Racing headers, exhaust systems to lighten your car and accelerate all the potential horsepower of your engine. Time for a change? Convert your 944 into a turbo or a 924 GT, or your 911 to a 911 RS, RSR, or 935. Talk with Joel at GT Racing. He'll help you choose the winning combination of lightweight Porsche parts and header systems to set you on the right track. GT Racing is your one-stop shop for your Porsche needs. GT Racing is a national sponsor and proudly sponsors tech inspections at PCA Club races. GT Racing also sponsors the Best Prepared Car Award, a $100 gift certificate at each race. Call Joel at GT Racing today at 1-800-797-2911 or find us on the web at www.gt-racing.com.
Our first club racing sponsor, Porsche Cars North America, funds the club racing news and sponsors the Workers' Choice Award, considered the most prestigious award given at a club race. Thank you to PCNA for offering vital support to our club racing program. Founders Region Racing is comprised of dedicated PCA Potomac Founders Region members who have united to become a gold-level sponsor for 2025's Rock the Summit. We're proud to support this premier event for our region and thank the hundreds of volunteers, racers, crew, and spectators who make this event the best club race in the nation. As we say, it's not just the cars, it's the people. Here's to Rock the Summit 2025.
Kansas City region is excited to host their second annual club race in the rolling hills of the Ozarks. The 2025 Race the Roller Coaster Club Race will be held on September 27th and 28th at Ozark International Raceway. The challenging 3.97-mile, 19-quarter course has almost 1,500 feet of combined elevation change per lap. The track is in Gravois Mills, Missouri, a few hours from Kansas City. There will be 3 sprint races, one on Saturday, followed by a happy hour with drinks and refreshments, and 2 on Sunday. Both days will have charity parade laps during lunch and give friends and family a taste of the roller coaster. The points races at this club race will earn points towards the 2025 Mid-America Series as well as the 2025 PCA National Championship Points Series. Register at clubregistration.net.
With almost 250 episodes and counting, Fearless in the Kitchen, a YouTube cooking channel by Paul Amico, is dedicated to sharing hints on cooking from the heart and head with ingredients from around the world. Paul's cooking is his passion and he wants to share it with you. Although there are recipes, Paul's emphasis is on creating from what you have on hand at the time as an inspiration and using old, new, and original techniques. Just grab stuff and make it work. That's where the name comes from, Fearless in the Kitchen. Paul provides ideas on variations of the dishes, but really hopes that you'll see opportunities to put your own twist and add the flavors and ingredients that you prefer. No fancy video effects or editing, just clear and easy to follow demonstrations, so come and join along on this voyage. Paul tries to post a new episode every Saturday and hopes that you enjoy. As a platinum sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, Paul's recipes will be featured at the Friday volunteer dinner as a thank you to the hardworking and dedicated volunteers who make this event possible.
The last PCA East Coast race of the season is at Carolina Motorsports Park, October 17th through 19th. The Carolinas Challenge is held at the 2.3-mile road course that's about an hour south of Charlotte. The event will feature the vintage class runoffs, 3 sprint races, and a 65-minute endurance race on Sunday. Wind down after Friday's practice with a social presented by Narrow Escape Motorsports, and after Saturday's sprint races, enjoy the award ceremony in full Southern hospitality with music and barbecue. Visit clubregistration.net to sign up.
Welcome back to Summit Point Raceway, Summit Point Motorsports Park to be exact, for the 2025 edition of Rock the Summit, presented by the Founders Region of the PCA, Potomac Region. And this qualifying session for the green group, which is all comprised of spec Boxsters, presented by Essex Parts Services. So Brian, after a little bit of downtime there, and nice little ballet by all the emergency services workers on track there. Good response for I think it was Franklin Prey who had the issues with his Porsche 911 down at turn 1. We're back to qualifying here, our second of 4 qualifying sessions today, and again, all spec Boxsters on their outlap right now. Fastest in our last practice session earlier today was Robbie Wilson in his 1997 Boxster. Turned in a 123.3. And so we'll be watching to see where everybody else finishes up here. Daniel Rubel, Jordan Applebaum were very close behind. Actually, they were separated only by 8/1000ths of a second in practice, with Hunt McMahon 0.2 back from there, but about 1.6 seconds separating our top 4 drivers.
Yeah, I tell you what, Greg, and when they came off of pit road and went down the front stretch, you could see them maneuvering as it looks like we got one car there that's going to go off a little bit in turn number 10. He's going to get back on, but actually that's going to be Lawson Wilder in that 16 machine. So Lawson not able to make that turn, but you could see them jockeying for position, trying to get in line, because this is a group here that at Summit Point, they will use that draft coming out of turn number 10.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the front straight here, you can see from this shot how long it is. As you come out of turn 10, it's close to 3/4 of a mile from the exit of 10 all the way down into the braking zone of turn number 1. So that draft is crucially important, and what you want to do as you come through turn 10 is, maybe if you're the trailing car, have a little bit of a run on the car ahead, not necessarily be right on their bumpers. You come up the hill and underneath that Toyota bridge, you don't want to end up having to check up as you go into turn 10. You want to carry as much speed as possible down that long front straight.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Greg. I mean, the lap to get here is really starts coming out of turn 10, right? Coming up underneath that bridge. If you can get through turn 10 pretty quickly, that's going to help you set up to get all the way down this front stretch down into turn number 1. And then as we get to the backside of the track, and we'll talk about this kind of later on, especially when you get through the carousel. We got another car going off there in turn number 10 as well, and that's going to be, I think that's going to be Applebaum in the 107.
Oh, and he comes right across
there, yeah.
Yeah, and he comes right across the driver's left, and Brian, that is not an uncommon occurrence here at Summit Point, that when you run a little bit wide there coming out of turn 10, a lot of drivers, they'll, as they try to save it, they'll crank the wheel over to the right, and what ends up happening is when that right front wheel ends up rejoining the pavement, it'll cause the car to shoot right back across the track.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's what happened to that driver. Thankfully, nobody following behind got caught up in that as well, though I'm sure a couple folks had to check up a little bit. But we've got a couple laps in the books already here, Brian. Let's take a look. Our fastest driver on track at the moment is Robbie Wilson with a 124.279. Hunt McMahon, who was fourth fastest in our last practice session, is about 7/10 back with a 124.9. Dan Rubel, and Dan was our second fastest driver in the last practice session. At the moment, he's third fastest, a 125.264, and then Sam Halabi, 126.529. And that's out of 16 drivers that we've got out on track.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Greg, you look at these, and again, that's the second car that have gone off in turn number 10 consecutively, right? One right after the other, and you're right. Good thing there wasn't anybody around, and pretty much hard checkup in there to kind of go around Jordan Applebaum. Still sitting down there, looks like trying to get it moving. I'm not sure if that's going to move or not, but you see a lot of tiptoeing now coming through turn 10. As they're going to come down and put an emergency vehicle down there to remove Jordan Applebaum's car out of that way. It looks like with a little bit of hot pull, but it just seems like turn 10 right now doesn't have the grip that they may have had early this morning because of the heat and the sun. That starts to really bake down there, and that ends up being a problem.
All right, so as we now have, again, sitting up at the top of the leaderboard, Robbie Wilson, Hunt McMahon, Dan Rubel. Dan Wilder just turned in his fastest lap of the session on lap number 3. He's at a 125.836, and then only 0.06 of a second back from there, William Calcagno with a 125.896. Ryan Farragut with a 126.256.
Yeah, Ryan getting pretty quick here in this Spec Boxer class. We've seen it over the last couple of events that we've done, especially in New Jersey. Ran really, really well in that number 29 machine, in that orange and bright green tires. You can definitely know when Ryan's coming around because those tires are the brightest green I think I've ever seen on a car that's there. But Ryan getting really fast, getting really, really comfortable in this car right now this year. So look for some good things out of Ryan this weekend. See, they're trying to go side by side. I believe that may be with Hunt McMahon trying to go through, trying to get space. Again, we've talked about space actually coming through turn number 3 now. But, again, trying to get as much space as you can to try to get that pretty quick lap.
And, going side by side through turn 3, they're probably not going to lead to a fast lap. In a perfect world, that pass, it would have wanted to get that pass done down that short chute. But with these Spec Boxsters that are so close to performance own, we've got a driver that obviously having some issues now with that machine. And Brian, given the Grateful Dead logo on the hood. Is that I thought it might be Hoyt Amadon, but I don't think actually the 83 car possibly. He was running 8th fastest here in the session, and I'm fairly certain that is the cockroach car, or as he calls it, the cockroach car. And reason he calls it the cockroach is because it's been rebuilt many times over. And when he sent some info about himself and the car to us, Brian, he sent a photo of the car on its roof.
Seemed like at that point in time during that race, that may have been the fastest lap it put in, right? I mean, it was
exactly.
It was up there, and I think you may be right. I think that may be Hoyt in that car. It did pull off down there. I don't know if he's going to continue around. Doesn't look like he's going to continue. I think he's probably going to pull off there. And we do have a gate over on that side. And I don't know if he went by. That's what we call Baker. Here's another gate there that can be opened up and he can drive it out.
Yeah, just past this camera here.
Yeah, just so that he doesn't affect anybody else's timer lap. And actually, that's not the case. He's sitting down there on the left-hand side. I can see the car.
Yeah, exactly.
From here,
right up against the tire wall. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Hoyt was the 2014 GTC2 national champion for Porsche Club of America and is representing Provost Motorsports. Hopefully they can resolve that issue, but that was a lot of white smoke, which also means probably a lot of oil that was burning up there.
Yeah,
or maybe unfortunate for that six-cylinder.
Even some of the rear end as well. It looked like. Tell you what, Greg, why don't we go ahead and since we're got about 10 minutes left, why don't we make our first call to the grid for our next group?
Sounds good.
Tension
in the paddock. Tension in the paddock. First call for the the blue race group. Please head to the grid. Blue race group, please head to the grid. And Brian, since we're just about halfway through this qualifying session, why don't we take a break and thank some of our partners and sponsors that are bringing you all the action here from Summit Point Raceway in the 2025 Rock the Summit.
Hankook Tire. We strive to create a universal moment when the car and driver become one. Our aim is to develop a safer, more pleasant, and more comfortable driving experience from the moment the driver turns on the engine. Through strong braking power, smooth handling, driving comfort, and guaranteed safety, Hankook products deliver an authentic driving experience beyond mobility. Our tires provide total control of speed and direction while ensuring safety and comfort on the road. Embrace driving emotion and embrace the feel and excitement of being behind the wheel with Hankook Tire. Hankook competition tires are the perfect match of performance and longevity. Visit HankookMotorsports.com to buy today.
OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000 square foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
We're not just a one-off experience, we're a call to freedom. We're a place in people's minds where everyone can unleash their wild side with a passport to a world of possibilities, a spirit that breaks all the rules, uniting the famously bold and spirited essence of tequila from Mexico with the much-loved richness of peanut butter. Manibal is the bold embodiment of the party animal within us all. Here is where the ethics starts. Tequila can be purchased nationwide at manibaltequila.com.
Club Reg is a supporter of PCA Club Racing and the provider of all registration for each of our races. ClubRegistration.net is a unique service because we put all of our customers first. You can use our services for free or with a small credit card handling fee. How can you go wrong? Included with both are custom solutions tailored to meet your needs. Find out more information at ClubRegistration.net.
Welcome back to Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the Founders Region of the Porsche Club of America, PCA Potomac. This qualifying session for Spec Boxster brought to you by Essex Parts Services. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Brian Donati, and let's not forget our good buddy Jordan Worth, who's bringing you all the great great views of this weekend's action from Summit Point Raceway. He, like Brian and I, is a lover of Summit Point Raceway.
Heck yeah, he is. I'm telling you, this is a great flow. And you know, we've got that standing yellow, and I think that could be for that Hoyt machine that's down there. I think this, because they could be removing it. I'm not seeing it was behind the ticker there. They could be getting that removed with about 7 minutes left to go, and I believe he still may be sitting there. So again, right, just showing that that standing yellow flag, just to let the drivers know what's going on. Doesn't look like, Greg, we've had too much, maneuvering at the top, other than, the Robbie Wilson in that 029 machine still sitting at top with that 123.7.01. Daniel Rubel in second, Hunt McMahon in third, and then Ryan Farragut sitting there in fourth with Lawson Wilder, who at the beginning of this event, this session, went off in turn 10, so was able to get those tires cleaned off. And now Lawson Wilder sitting up in the fifth position right now for qualifying.
Hey, want to welcome somebody to the PCA Potomac chat, Brian, that I think we both know. Mark Rougeau, long-time IndyCar starter, also a racer in another regional series that we see many times at Summit Point Raceway. Welcome, Mark. Want to thank you for joining us on the PCA Potomac channel. And then we've got Kenneth Larson, who says, "Let's go racers. Have a great qualifying." So I want to thank everybody for joining us here on both the PCA YouTube channel as well as the PCA Potomac YouTube channel, as we've got now just a little bit more than 5 minutes remaining in this Spec Boxster qualifying, where Robbie Wilson, Daniel Rubel, Hunt McMahon, and Ryan Farragut are your top four. Farragut just resetting his personal best.
Yeah, went a little bit faster there, and so again was battling earlier on with that 56 machine, and now he's pulled away a little bit, and so now he's got that clean lap. So good to see Ryan go on the 9th lap go his personal best as he now comes down pit road. So I think once he got the word that, hey, that's your personal best, let's not go any further, decided to pull it off there and come down the pit lane.
Stop while the going's good, huh?
Right. Well, you know what happens? It's always, your fastest lap is always the one right before.
No, don't say that.
So he decided to say, you know what? I'm going to let this thing breathe and let it relax a little bit. And
don't jinx that. I think Hoyt Amadon could have used that. Could have used that advice 10 minutes ago.
Should have came in. Let's see. Hoyt ended up getting 4 laps. Probably should have pitted on lap 3, right?
Lap 3, exactly.
And now that I say that, Ryan Farragut now going back out. So I think they just brought it down. Wanted to check how much these tires are building up, Craig. I think, we've seen a lot of that, especially in this group, where cars have come down the pit lane to their crew. They've gone through, and I can see out the window here where they're looking at tires. So probably wanting to see exactly how much they're building up, in that 9, 10, 12 lap range, because again, these guys are going to have some sprint races and going through. These guys don't race until tomorrow morning, but again, getting the factor of how much are these tires really, kind of expanding, so to speak, where they, as the day gets gone. And we're now receiving the checkered flag here. So the checkered flag for this group, Greg, is now out.
All right. So, of course, last flying laps here will count. And we will see here is, there you go, flag is in the air right behind our ticker there. And as racers start to come across the line, we'll get some of their qualifying times. Of course, Robbie Wilson at the moment leads the pack with a 123.701. That's 0.7 of a second up on the rest of the field, with Dan Rubel at a 124.398. Hunt McMahon just crossed the line. He did not improve. He's got a 124.881. That's 1.1 seconds back from provisional pole sitter Wilson. Then with Ryan Farragut fourth, another about 3/4 of a second back from McMahon, a 125.621. And I believe all of these racers, there you go, have taken the checkered flag. So we've got a couple more, I think, Brian, waiting for them to come across the line. But I think we've got the majority of the field here. So it's Wilson, Rubel, McMahon, Farragut, Wilder, Calcagno, Sam Halabi, Hoyt Amadon, who's 8th fastest. We'll see if he can get his car ready to go for tomorrow morning's race. Peter Kaufman, Ian Bryant, rounding out the top 10. And so our Spec Boxster's first race of the weekend, Brian, is going to be tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, I tell you what, they are going to be, again, getting the benefit of having to sit down, taking the rest of the day off after this, and then getting ready for tomorrow. And the weather should be a lot cooler, so these cars should go a little bit faster.
Indeed. All right, Brian, let's make another call to the grid for our next group. Attention in the paddock, Blue Group racers. Your qualifying session is next. Please start heading to the grid. Blue Group racers, please head to the grid. And with that, Brian and I, we're going to take a quick little break. And we're going to thank some of our partners and sponsors personally, Brian. And we'll be back with more qualifying action from Summit Point Raceway in just a few moments. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit. Please stay with us. At Foundry Wealth Advisors, we believe that every client deserves our full and focused attention, the kind of attention required for smarter decision-making and effective goals-based financial planning. The atmosphere at Foundry Wealth Advisors is one of camaraderie and collaboration. Our people work together intensely, giving you a top-to-bottom, big-picture perspective. At Foundry Wealth Advisors, we view wealth management differently. To us, it's not only about investing your money, it's about investing in a relationship. Redefining wealth management means we really get to know our clients, their businesses, and their needs, and that we take a bird's eye view of your financial picture. Ask the right questions and hard work to help you understand the issues and risks you face. Our clients call us their financial therapists or their personal CFOs, but no matter how they describe us, it's clear they're experiencing a different way of working. By remaining in continual contact and checking frequently, we're able to achieve the type of working relationship where there are no surprises, which means our clients are able to make a more informed decision in achieving their goals. Foundry Wealth Advisors is proud to be a platinum sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, and we thank all the volunteers, racers, and crew for their participation.
Maverick Region PCA is excited to announce their Eagles Canyon 2 Club race on October 11th and 12th. They will be racing the counterclockwise 2.7-mile course with 15 turns and over 200 feet of elevation change. All races have points towards the PCA National and Mid-America Championships. Expect 2 practices, qualifying, and a 30-minute sprint race on Saturday, and 2 additional sprint races on Sunday, one 30 minutes long and one 40 minutes long. Podium-winning trophies for race classes with a 4+ car count and additional awards will be presented at the Saturday evening banquet at the Over the Top Bar and Grill at Eagles Canyon Raceway. Register today at clubregistration.net.
The Aaron Levitas Foundation was founded to prevent sexual assault by educating youth about boundaries, consent, and empathy using restorative approaches. Our mission is to reduce the incidence of sexual assault and help those who have experienced it heal. If we can stop sexual harassment early, we can reduce sexual assault and rape. To learn more about our many programs and initiatives, please visit our website at aaronlevitas.org. The Aaron Levitas Foundation is honored to be the charity partner for this year's Rock the Summit PCA Founders Region Club race. We thank all the racers and volunteers for helping support our cause. Please check out our auction in person or online by scanning the QR code. All monies raised help support our mission. Welcome back to Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by PCA Potomac, the founders region of the Porsche Club of America. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Brian Donati, and next up, Brian, is our Blue Group qualifying for our G through J classes, SP1 through 3. We just had Spec Boxster, now we've got Spec Cayman SPC, and we've got GT5 as well. And this qualifying session brought to you by clubregistration.net. If you are going to attend a Porsche Club of America event, you need to get to know clubregistration.net. They handle all of those events. And so in our last practice session, Brian, for the Blue Group, let me go and take a look. Our fastest driver on track, we saw him a little while ago in the Silver Group in one of his two chassis. Now we've got in his 2010 997 chassis, Franklin Prey, driving in the J class. He was the fastest driver with a practice time, of 120.305. Ken Agnew was your second fastest driver. He's in the SP3 class in his Porsche 944 S2. He turned in a 122.244. Greg Rochik with his SP3 machine, also a 944 S2. He turned in a 129.116. And Kenyatta Jenkins running in the H class in a 996 chassis, 911, turned in a 123.681. We had 28 drivers across multiple classes out for practice. We'll get the qualifying times here as our drivers are trying to, I think, jockey for position a little bit and get that first flying lap in.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Greg, you're exactly right. They're trying to jockey to get in and out of positions here to let some of the other cars in the other classes go, but it really gets congested and tight when that happens. And what ends up happening is you end up throwing basically a lap and a half away, right? And so It's kind of like get out there, get going right away when you can. And if somebody comes up to pass you, again, just qualifying, let them go. You're not going to do any good by trying to make a pass if they're not in the class. And this is where, and we'll talk about this really tomorrow when these guys come back for their race as well, is when you get that multi-class racing, you've got to know who you're racing against and you got to know who you're racing with.
That is absolutely key. Now, just because you've got racers in different classes doesn't mean they may not be setting, not only setting similar lap times, Brian, but I think most importantly is that they're carrying speed in the same places here. As it appears that a lot of these racers now have set up a nice little gap to be able to do that. Of course, the couple racers up at the front of the field, and I believe all these racers were sent out based on those last practice times. And so Franklin Prey, he's all by himself at this point, with nothing but about 3/4 of this track ahead of him, and then Ken Agnew then about 25-30 car lengths back from there, also with a lot of clean air to work through. It's this pack right here where, if the second or third car in line thinks, I might be able to carry a little more speed through the carousel than the car ahead, then, as we see here going down under braking, where one of our 944s was a little bit stronger on the brakes than the 911 ahead, that may lead to some consternation between drivers, we'll say.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right. It's where do you go, where do you not go, when do you go, when do you not go, right? So that's, and that's a product of a small short track. Most of these drivers, or some of these drivers, were with us when we were out at Road America a couple weeks ago, and they had all of that room, and you knew where you were going to get by. Here, it's
4 miles to get by.
Yeah, correct, right? Here you have less than 2 miles, if you think about it, to get by. So you have to use that, strategically in order to place it. And we were talking kind of up here and talking a little bit earlier, as I was with some of the drivers. It's really about how you get out of turn number 10, right? That's really what happens when you come down that front stretch to get into turn 1. That's either going to get you by that other car or not get you by that other car. Then you got to tuck back in line. So
Yeah, indeed, and one of the things that Brian, you and I, who've covered many, many races over the years here at Summit Point, always talk about is the flow of this racetrack. As cars come down under braking into turn 5, they're going to have to set up for the carousel, which is really one big, long, flowing corner. And if you get it right, you put in really just one steering input, and the goal and the key is to be able to continue as you come through this section here and through turn 7, continue feeding more and more throttle in, so that by the time you come out of turn 8 and you get the shift done maybe a little bit early because of the crown and the pavement right there, that you're able to carry speed and you're full throttle until you come and have to maybe brush off a little bit of speed under braking going into turn 10, and that way again carry as much speed as you can onto the front straight. But it's that coming out of turn 5, it essentially starts what is really the longest straight at Summit Point. It's not this right here.
That is correct, Greg. This is not the considered the longest straight. That really starts back at where you were talking about, is going through turn number 5 and then picking it up right here in the middle, kind of coming through 6 and what we call 6 and 6A. That's really where the longest straight of the part. You want to be on that throttle, as you just talked about. So throttle modulation is a huge, huge factor trying to get through there, because you don't even want to touch the brakes or come off that throttle really until, as you said, get down into turn 10, and maybe that's ride the brake a little bit and let the nose of the car set, and then make that right-hand turn through turn 10. That's going to be the ultimate lap that you're going to want to do. So right in here is key. If you can get that car to handle through here and stay on the throttle as much as you can, that's going to give you that fastest lap, and it's going to give a lot of drivers a lot of personal bests and top of the speed charts.
All right, so let's start breaking things down. We're doing it as it looks like Franklin Prey has just decided I've got pole, or at least I think I've got pole, and I'm coming down the pit lane. He's going to call it a session. And, of course, this group is going to have their first race of the weekend tomorrow. When the blue group goes out, they're scheduled to have their first race of the weekend at 11:10 tomorrow morning. But we're going to go break things down a little bit by class here, where Franklin Prey, again, your fastest driver at this point, has a 120.523, and as we said, we expect him to stand on that for the rest of the session. The only other J-class racer out there today in his 2009 Porsche Cayman was Stephen Corrali, turned in a 124.740, so almost 4 seconds separating them. Oh, big lockup there, and you can see the tire marks coming down the hill there when the rear end got very, very loose just ahead of, I think, Ken Agina. We'll get the number on that car if we can. I think that was the gray 341 of Connor Henderson, who had just turned in his fastest lap, I think, trying to push down a little bit more. But if we go into the I-Class, Dan Matthews in his 997 Carrera has turned in a 124.2. That is about half second up on Sam Amano in his 2014 Porsche Cayman. In the G-Class, David Nissenbaum in the number 411, the white and orange Boxster, turns in a 123.97. And Brian, that's only a tenth faster than Jordan Simon. James Clemens is about 3/4 of a second back from there. And I think that we just saw the 944 pit in. Brian, if you could tell me this, coming onto the front straight now is a light gray 944, and that might have been I might have gotten that wrong. That might be Henderson.
Yeah, I think that went through there. We'll be able to look down in through here, coming down
here
into turn
right
number
now.
1 right there, I believe.
Yeah, that is Connor Henderson. So I got the wrong gray machine picked out. We'll figure out who it was who brought his 924 in the pit lane.
I'm sure Connor has probably locked it up too down in there anyway. So at some point in time.
If he doesn't do it now, he'll do it at the after party tonight. Anyway, let's take a look at some of our other classes here. We also have in Spec Cayman, Dominic Belvedere in the silver number 556 Cayman, 121.841, with Waleed Shahadi in the gray 06 Cayman, about a second back from there, Andrew Murphy about another 2 seconds back. So about 3 seconds separating our 3 Spec Cayman racers, and an SP3 Greg Rochick now in the red Porsche 944, who I think was just about to come into our view. He's your fastest SP3 racer. He's actually he's actually picked up a lot of time since practice, Brian, and he is now almost 0.3 of a second faster than Ken Agina, with Steven Wilson another 2.6 seconds back from there. And then Connor Henderson, who was running third fastest, he now falls back to fourth fastest.
Well, he definitely had a little bit of an excursion as well going down into turn number 5. So got heavy on the brakes there, went 4 wheels off. I think he was able to continue is basically the call that came across. But right after we got done talking about him, he decided to go and prove us right. And made that turn down into turn 5. That car got really, really light in the rear end, and basically just kind of did everything he can to get through turn 5, but was able to go off a little bit to the right and able to continue. So no harm there, just basically again throws the lap away. And then you have to regroup to get another lap, because it takes you, if you go off anywhere, and Greg, you know this as well, if you go off anywhere on this racetrack, it's going to take you another full lap to get back up to where you were, right?
Indeed.
Cleaning off the tires, and even if you don't go completely off, you're still going to use that other lap, so it should be okay there.
All right, Brian, well, let's do this. Let's make a first call to the grid for our last qualifying session of the day, and then we'll take a quick break. Thanks to some of our partners and sponsors. Attention in the paddock, attention in the paddock. Red Group drivers, please start heading to the grid. Your qualifying session is next. Red Group drivers, please head to the grid. And with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back here with more action from Summit Point Raceway in just a few moments. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit.
OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000 square foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
About to hit the track without coverage for your car? Buy HPDE insurance in minutes at LockedInMotorsports.com. Whether you drive a 911 or a Boxster, protect your car against physical damage during HPDE and track day events with HPD insurance from Locked In Motorsports, administered by Locked In Affinity. Coverage includes modifications you've done to your car, 2 drivers at each event, demonstration laps your instructor drives, and more. Worried about the trip home? Locked In Motorsports also offers off-track insurance for your non-licensed race car or track car while in transit, in storage, and in the paddock, plus options for your trailer, equipment, and tools. Insure your Porsche today at LockedInMotorsports.com.
Miller's Oils is proud to be a Porsche Club Racing sponsor and to work with Racer's Edge as their North American distributor. Miller's Oils has been blending oil since 1887 and has an extensive product line for virtually every street or racetrack application. The technology implemented in Miller's engine oil and gear oils protects the wear surfaces of your engine and gear train on a microscopic level, significantly reducing friction and increasing the life of your engine and gear train. We encourage you to try Miller's and judge for yourself with the help of an oil sample analysis. As they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Welcome back to Summit Point Raceway, the 2025 Rock the Summit, presented by the Porsche Club of America and the Founders Region, PCA Potomac. I'm Greg Ginsburg, along with Brian Donati, and we are deep into our blue group qualifying session right now. Only a little bit more than 5 minutes remaining. Fastest driver in the session to this point, Franklin Prey, in his J-Class 997 chassis. He decided to call it a session, as have a number of our other racers as well, Brian. And wanted to just mention, there he is coming down the front straight. That is Sam Mamano coming down the inside. Mamano is racing in in the I class in his 2014 Cayman, actually the fastest driver in the I class currently. No, he does not have emergency flashers on. No, he is not a police car. Those are the LED driving lights that he has on. But you want to stay clear when he's coming through. He is a 5-time PCA national champion in the G class. And, of course, he's driving that machine right now, prepared by Exton Motorsports and sponsored by Tear-Offs Now and Tear-Offs Now windshield protection. Maybe if we put some of that on the front of those driving lights, it wouldn't freak me out so much.
Yeah, I think the camera just picks, the camera looked like it picks it up. When looking out the window here, when he's driving down the front stretch, you don't see that, but the camera kind of picks that up. But it is kind of neat to see. Is like every time you come up on somebody, it's like, well, there's Sam. He's flashing the lights, get out of his way. And just as we say that here, he comes down the pit lane. So
that's right.
Looks like
maybe those are the pit lane limiter lights. Who knows?
Maybe. He's got a pretty quick limiter when he's out on the racetrack then, because that's pretty quick. Cause, you talked about this earlier on. Franklin Prey went down pit road. Looks like he did go back out and get. Well, actually, he did not. So he did not go back out.
I'm showing him as only having completed 4 laps. Brian,
yeah. So I think he kind of sat on pit road for a while, and attention to the crew. And again, as I told you before, when we were talking about the Spec Boxer class, is that a lot of drivers coming down, getting their crews to check temperatures, check the tire pressure, see how much they're expanding up and blowing up, because as we get into a 30-minute race, or and we get into Sunday when we talk about the enduros, that's really going to matter, especially here on a smaller, more tight-knit track.
And there we go. Connor Henderson bringing his car. A lot of our racers, with only about 3 minutes remaining in the qualifying session, starting to bring their cars down the pit lane, kind of realizing that perhaps they've heated the tires up to the point where they're not going to, cars starting to get a little loose and a little slippy, and maybe not going to turn in fast laps at this point. That said, a lot of our drivers on track right now, they may be putting in the laps. Seat time is king, and the more that they get accustomed to a track that they maybe haven't raced on very much, Brian, will serve them well when this group goes racing. Again, the blue group will be racing starting at 11:10 tomorrow. That will be the first of 2 races for them tomorrow. Over in the ME1 class that I don't believe we talked about earlier, Frank Osborne, currently your fastest racer in his 2004 Boxster. That's the orange Boxster, and I believe he may still be out there putting in laps. Chris Fahey in the 353 2002 Boxster. That's the silver car. Second fastest. He's about 15 hundredths of a second back from Osborne. And then we've got Gene Raimondi. He is in the blue 078 Boxster. He's only 5/100ths of a second off of Chris Fahey's time. So I'm sure, and I think he's still out there as well. I think he, if he knows that, and if he's had crew tell him that in his ear, he's going to want to try and push to the very end to work ahead of Chris Fahey.
Well, the end is now. So the checkered flag is now out. So a lot of these drivers have seen the checkered flag, and a lot of these, especially coming up out of turn 9, have not taken that. So if that was on his lap at this point, when he comes around, this will be the last lap. So if he's going to get it done, he's got to get it done pretty quickly. As most of our group is either already on pit lane or is now taking the checkered flag. So these last couple drivers that are topping the hill here, getting ready to come down at turn 1, they should be the last cars. So.
All right. Yeah, and I think one of them, actually, I was going to say, I thought it was David Nissenbaum. That is one of our Boxsters, probably not the Boxster, I take that back. That's one of our 944s, and I believe that's, I think that's either Greg Rochick or Damon DeCastro in the red and white machine. I think that actually was Greg Rochick, who's about a quarter of a second off of Ken Agnaw's best qualifying time in SP3. And there you go, is all of our other racers now, they have seen the checkered flag. So let's quickly break things down here. Actually, before I go and break these down by class, Brian, let me make another call to the grid for our next qualifying group. A Attention in the paddock. Attention in the paddock. Red group drivers, please head to the grid. Your qualifying session starts in just a few moments. Red group drivers, please head to the grid. All right, so if we break things here down by class, we'll start off with the fastest driver in the session. That was Franklin Prey in the 777 J-Class 997 chassis. He had a time of 120.523. Stephen Corrali, the second fastest driver in J, with a 124.740, so about 4.2 seconds separating those drivers. Sam Amano in the emergency vehicle, in his 2014 Porsche Cayman S, turns in a 123.795. That was 0.4 of a second faster than Dan Matthews in his 2008 997 Carrera. In the G-Class, David Nissenbaum in his Porsche Boxster S sets down a 123.975, a tenth faster than Jordan Simon, and then 0.75 of a second back from there is James Clemens. In the H-Class, in a 2008 997 chassis 911, Ryan McGrath turns in a 121.624. That's a second up on Kenyatta Jenkins in a 996 chassis. Terrence Judge turned in his fastest lap on lap number 12, his last lap of the session, a 122.853, and then Mark Salvador fourth fastest. In Spec Cayman, Dominic Belvedere with a 121.841. He turned in his fastest lap, Brian, and then he said, I'm done. Waleed Shahadi, your second fastest driver, a second back from there, another 1.2 back to Andrew Murray. In SP3, Ken Agnall with a 121.452. For a while, Greg Rochik held the fastest time. Rochik pitted in after lap 5. Agnall ran all the way to the end of the session, and he beats out Rochik by 0.25 of a second. Steve Wilson, third fastest in a 6-car class. And in ME1, Frank Osborne, your fastest driver, 0.16 of a second, the advantage over Chris Fahey. And Gene Raimondi did not improve, Brian, and he finishes just 0.05 of a second back from Fahey, 0.21 of a second separating our three ME1 drivers. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here with our last qualifying session of the day, and then we go racing here at Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit. Stay with us. Located in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and serving the entire Washington, D.C. metro area for over 20 years, Europro's Collision Center is a family-owned and operated business specializing in high-end European and Asian collision repair. Their owner, Derek Ford, and his team of highly trained certified technicians are dedicated to providing exceptional service and ensuring that your vehicle receives the highest level of care. As a certified collision center for Porsche, Audi, and Lexus, and accepting all major insurance coverage, Europros is well known for its expertise in luxury vehicles, utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and techniques in conjunction with OEM parts to ensure quality repairs and customer satisfaction, returning your vehicle to pre-accident condition. To find out more, visit them at europroscollisioncenter.com or call them at 301-977-7475. As a gold sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, Europros Collision Center is pleased to support PCA Club Racing and this premier annual event.
The Carrera of the Americas on November 22nd and 23rd at COTA in Austin, Texas, is the final PCA Club race of the 2025 season. Hosted by the Hill Country, Lone Star, and Maverick regions, the Circuit of the Americas, a Formula One venue, is a 3.4-mile, 20-turn track and is one of the most challenging in the United States. There will be 2 race groups contesting for the final season points toward the 2025 PCA Club Racing National Point Series and the 2025 Mid-America Championship Series. This event is limited to just 100 racers. To mark your calendars for registration, open October 6th at clubregistration.net.
Radial Tire Company is your trusted provider of high-quality, new tires, custom aftermarket wheels, and tire repair and maintenance services. We are dedicated to giving you the very best tire experience, focusing on upfront and honest quotes, timely response to issues, and quality products and parts. Since 1976, Radial Tire Company has provided the Washington, D.C. area, including Bethesda, Arlington, Washington, and surrounding areas with quality tires and the most exemplary service. We have earned a reputation as the premier specialist in hard-to-find performance tire and wheel applications, stocking tires from all top manufacturers for whatever you drive, from small economy cars to SUVs and trucks. Our mission is to assist you in getting the most out of your tires and car. For more information, visit radialtirecompany.com or call them at 301-585-2740. Radial Tire Company is pleased to provide gold-level sponsorship to this year's Rock the Summit 2025. Thank you to all the volunteers who make this year's event such a success. It's Rock the Summit here at Summit Point Motorsports Park, the PCA Club Race presented by the Founders Region of the Porsche Club, PCA Potomac. I'm Greg Ginsberg along with Brian Donati, and starting here now, our final qualifying session of the day. This is our red group for GTA 3 and 4, GTV1, GTC 3 through 8, GTD 1 through 3, GTP 2, and GT3. And as they went out earlier today, Brian, our fastest racer in the GTA 3 GT3 Cup car with a 1:08.935, Corey Freeman, Michael Levitas in his 992 Cup car turned in a 1:12.922. He's in the GTA 4 class, in the GTA 8 class. Joseph Viola turned in a 1:06.861, also in a 992 Cup car. And Brian, as we say at each one of these PCA events, these are the big boys, all the Cup cars. These are the fastest guys, and turning in times in. And did I say he turned in a 1:08? That's not right. That was the speed that he was running. But he turned in a 1:12.7 up at the front of the field, which is, oh my gosh, smoking fast around a 2-mile race course here. These racers are all incredibly fast. It's about 20 seconds or so separating the entire field. But the guys right up at the front running anywhere from mid 112s to like 116 or so. I mean, they are just absolutely fast as can be. And you see here is they're, I don't know, maybe they think it's Formula One qualifying. You see a couple of them trying to scrub tires in a little bit, try to get some heat in the rubber. And they're going to come just blasting through turn 10. If it were me, I'd be on it right about now. Since this isn't a race, it's not practice, Brian. It's not just practice. It's qualifying.
That's great. We're not talking about practice here. We're talking about qualifying here. And it's actually Joseph Viola was the one kind of holding the entire group up because, Michael Levis, Corey Freeman, they kind of took off, right? So they're all the way now through turn number 3. Viola in that group just now getting down into turn 1. So a little bit of a backup there. Yeah,
and you can see, I think, a couple of folks already with thoughts of getting around some of those racers. We just saw David Dunnigan. He's in the darker blue Porsche with the Gulf logo on the I guess we'll call it the frunk. He's in the GTC 6 class. He was your 2021 GTC 4 national champion. I think he had enough of that outlap and a half because essentially everybody's throwing this lap away too.
Sure.
That they're not going to get fast laps. They just now need to get some heat in the tires. And lap number 3 is going to be the first flying lap that they're all going to have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you're basically, as you just said, right, they're going to throw away 2 laps here. Really, more than likely the first 2.5 minutes, of this session as Corey Freeman goes by the start-finish line. He's at that 1:13.7. So, again, Corey getting the most out of his car. But, Greg, you were talking about the best lap speed. That's kind of the average of the lap time, right? That's kind of where that is. I guarantee you they're doing about 150 to 160 down into turn 1, coming out of turn number 10. So they're really getting it through there as much as they can past the start-finish line.
Yeah, indeed. And so with these cars here, now luckily with these, for the most part with these Cup cars, the GT4 RS Club Sport's a little bit different since they are a mid-engine. Versus having the engine out over the back, over the axle like the Cup cars do. But the big difference that we're going to see in this group compared to some of the earlier groups is down in that carousel area. Once they get down hard under braking into turn 5, and through this section here, it is going to really be, and you can see some of the cars, and actually there you go, that's David Dunnigan, looked to be a little bit off speed. Throttle application, I said, you keep feeding in throttle down here. Well, you keep feeding in a lot of throttle and you're going to have the rear end step around on you down here. You have to be a lot more judicious, a lot more careful, a lot smoother with the throttle than some of the lower horsepower cars were.
Yeah, you've got to really let that car drive, kind of roll through some of those corners back here in the back. especially going through 6. And then when you get to 7 and kind of 8, you're kind of letting the car roll and then getting back on the throttle, as quickly as you can.
All right, so there you go. We've got it's like the battle of the golf cars. There is we had Dunnigan and one of our other machines, I think, right on track. Behind Dunnigan is Jack Coster in the 573. Both those drivers are in GTC 6. Both driving fairly recent 991.2 chassis cars.
Oh,
As
we
we've
got
got
one car
another
going
Golf
off there.
machine going wide and going off. Or probably that's a Martini liveried machine. I'm sorry. And Brendan just told us it's the 2023 Porsche 963 prototype livery from Le Mans. There that just went off. It kind of has the Martini stripes on the front there.
I think that's the one that we saw when we were at Road America. They were all really impressed that knew exactly where that livery came from.
So well. Seeing that we have the same guy here, we've got Brendan Kazmarek in our ears to let us know that'll do it. All right,
John Coster in that 573 there. So that was the car that kind of went off there, able to continue. And Greg, as we talk about it. Look, there has not been any rain here in this area for quite some time. Significant rain for quite some time. This grass is really, really dry. So even though you go off, it's not like, you're going to lose it, obviously, but you can continue and get back on pretty quickly, and the tires will clean themselves off relatively quickly. You're not really going to lose 2-3 laps trying to get the stuff off of the tire because it is so dry and the grass is so low.
All right, we're just watching, and as they come down into into turn 5 here, Rami Farid directly behind Steve Garrison. Farid in that blue with orange hooded GTD2 class GT4 Club Sport, and the Cayman S of Garrison in GT3 class. And this is, I think, the very first time that probably not the first time, but Garrison ran earlier this season, both at VIR and also at Lime Rock, and I think worked his way up to 5th overall in this group at Lime Rock. So a good run for him. Farid out of New York City. Actually, that same event the event at VIR actually set the GTD3 track record. There at VIR is we just had somebody run through the grass there. And we haven't gotten a lot of rain at Summit, Brian, in the last couple of weeks. Middle of the summer, there was, as you know, a good stretch of time where the place had been saturated. But I think the last time we really had a good rain at Summit was, probably mid-August?
Yeah, well, and that was kind of just a quick rain shower, I think, towards the end, right before or right after Labor Day, I think. So maybe a week ago. But it hasn't rained here in quite some time. Heavily, as we got a waving yellow down there in turn number 5. So looks like we may
that could very well be where that dust cloud started off from, because just out of our view here, and just past where these cars go through the frame, there is a very large area with no grass and nothing but dirt, and that big dust cloud that we saw might have actually just drifted all the way across the big island there in the middle of the carousel.
Yeah, well, there's either probably a car in the middle there, or it could be up against that tire barrier on the left-hand side, Greg, where there is room to put a car there, and still get through that corner. And I think that could be the reason why we have that waving yellow. Not sure, because we really can't see, but not sure if somebody's on the inside there, driver's right, or up against that tire barrier, being that it was a waving yellow. So obviously there is something going, which, again, what's going to end up doing is, with about 10 minutes left to go, depending on how long that is there, look, that's going to slow. That's the fastest part of the racetrack that we kind of talked about earlier on, getting through the carousel and getting up through here, turn number 9 and up the hill down into 10. So,
all right, so let's take a look here, Brian, as we're about halfway through this session. Let's, I think, make a call to the grid for our very first and only race group today, and then we'll take a quick break. Attention in the paddock, attention in the paddock. Silver Group drivers, please start heading to the grid. Your race starting next. Silver Group racers, please head to the grid. Your first race of the weekend starting in just a few moments. And so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a few moments with more action from Summit Point Raceway. This is the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the PCA Potomac region. We'll be right back. Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control.
Based in New Jersey, Precision Motorsports, or PMR, is a supporter of club racing and a new national sponsor for 2025. From the latest Cup cars to 944 racers, PMR has supported them all here at the track. True experts in their craft and dedicated to performance. Find them on Facebook at Precision Motorsports.
New for 2025, Isringhausen will be sponsoring the GTD 1, 2, and 3 classes. Our group here at Club Racing are thrilled to have them on board. Over the past 30 years, Isringhausen has become synonymous with quality vehicles and superb service. The Isringhausen way of doing business has been one of offering excellent products at fair prices, coupled with service that goes above and beyond what anyone would expect from a typical car dealership. We believe that good service is comprised of two components: a willing and helpful attitude, accompanied by competency in your field. We try to support an environment where each person who works here strives to serve each customer as they wish to be served, with dignity and respect. Because of these core values, Isringhausen has become and will continue to be a leading example in the industry.
One of our latest partners, Track Day Tire, is happy to be supporting Club Racing through their Toyo, Hoosier, and Michelin tires. Use the code PCACR for a discount at checkout. The TrackDayTire.com team is passionate about helping our customers extract the highest level of performance from their vehicles on the track. Decades of on-track experience has taught us purpose-designed track-use tires are arguably the single most important vehicle component that influences driver confidence to obtain maximum vehicle performance. Making it easier for our fellow track day enthusiasts to obtain confidence-inspiring tires is our goal. We look forward to providing you access to the best prices and customer support in the industry.
Welcome back, everybody, to 2025 Rock the Summit, presented by the PCA Potomac region of the Porsche Club of America, and this qualifying session presented by the Peanut Butter Tequila of Manabal Tequila. I'm Greg Ginsberg, along with Brian Donati. And Brian, let's take a quick look here as we've only got about 6.5 minutes remaining of where we stand in some of our classes. Fastest driver on track at the moment is Corey Friedman, and Corey leads up the GTA 3 class. He's the only driver in GTA 3 here today. He's got a time of 1:12.583. If we look at GT3, Charles Liu in his Porsche Club Sport, GT4 Club Sport, is your leader with a 1:19.9, about a second and a half up on Steve Garrison in a 2010 Cayman. In GTC6, Jeff Smith in his 991.1 Cup car just turned in his fastest lap of the session. Actually, didn't just turn it in. He turned it in on lap 5 and then called it a day. He turned in a 1:15.718, 1.7 seconds up on the rest of the 5-car field. John Coster, second fastest. David Dunnigan, third fastest. In GTC7, Dwayne Moses in his 2019 991.2 Cup car with a 1:30.830. Glenn Spiegler, almost 6 seconds back from there. In GTV1, Kyle Hoyer in a 2010 Cayman turned in a 1:17.750 on lap number 8. Chuck Palmer, a lap later, turned in a 1:18 flat. Unfortunately, that's about a quarter second off of Hoyer's provisional pole time for the class. Ed Dunn, another half second back from there in a 6-car field. GTD1, Peter DeBusman in his Cayman GT4 Club Sport with a 1:17.66. That's 1.8 seconds clear. Jimmy Martin and David Felker. And then in GTD3, Chris Dooley with almost 4 seconds on Chris Karras. Both of them racing in 2024 Cayman GT4 RS Club Sports, a brand new Club Sports. And in GTC3, John Bauer with 7 seconds over Michael Vitz, both of them in early 2000s 996 chassis Cup cars.
Greg, you're talking about, that GTB1, and we've seen some really, really close racing everywhere we've gone within this class. And Ed Dunn is usually at the very top of that. Yeah. It seems that car just isn't handling. I've been watching the last couple laps, and we're picking him up on the camera and really picking him up down into turn 1. But really through turn 5, that car just looks so unsettled right now during qualifying that, obviously they're going to have to go back and make some changes, setup and everything else to that car. That car just isn't getting through the part of the racetrack we've been talking about kind of all day. Is that's where you need to be able to get on the gas as quickly as possible. That car just doesn't seem to have it. It's sitting down here in third, where we've normally seen him up at least in the top 2 spots and within pretty much of the leaders of those groups' track time. Still right now about a second off Kyle Hoyer.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like there a bit of understeer down in the carousel with that car, and so that they're going to want to dial it out. Now, that being said, Brian, that all of these racers had 2 practice sessions, let me just say they had the opportunity to go out for 2 practice sessions before this qualifying session today. And yeah, the temperatures have changed a little bit. The sun is a little bit higher in the sky than it was this morning when they had these practice sessions. But they've had some time to, generally start dialing some things in. But I would suspect, this isn't Formula One. These cars aren't under Park for May, that they can go and make adjustments to rebound and compression on these shocks and get the car maybe in better shape for tomorrow. That being said, this red group, Brian, they're not going to be racing today. This is their last session today. They're going to be on track almost at high noon tomorrow. 11:50 tomorrow morning is when their first race of the weekend is scheduled to start. And, so they've got some time to think about the setup a little bit and maybe bring it a little bit closer to what it was during that second practice session that they had.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Where we've seen a lot of drivers now, and we get down to the last couple of minutes of this qualifying session. We see a lot of drivers calling it those couple of minutes early, either happy with what they got or not happy and got to come in and start making changes, so they're not working all through the night in order to get those done. So we'll, as our checkered flag is now out, the first driver that's going to take that is Ed Dunn in that 98 machine. So, and just as we said that, Greg, he goes his fastest lap of the qualifying session with that 1:17.845. So now he is under a tenth, to Kyle Hoyer in that 61. So unless Ed Dunn has our streaming in there and listen to this we were talking about, I've decided to go a little bit faster there.
That's right. Chuck Palmer, who now is third fastest in that GTB1 class, does not improve. But Brian, the top 3 in GTB1 separated by less than a quarter of a second, 22/100ths of a second. In GTC6, where Jeff Smith is your fastest driver, he's got 1.7 seconds on the rest of the GTC6 field. In GT3, Charles Liu, almost a second and a half over Steve Garrison. They are the only 2 drivers in that class. In GTD1, Peter DeBusman with 1.8 seconds over Jimmy Martin in a 3-car field. GTD3, Chris Dooley with 3.5 seconds over Chris Karras. GTC3, John Bauer, your fastest driver in the class. Michael Vitz, second fastest. And we've got a number of classes where there's only a single entry. We haven't really mentioned James Wilson in his GT4 RS Club Sport, our sole GT2 racer. He turned in a 1:19.5. And that was good for, I think, 19th fastest overall. Chip Santos with a 1:23.574, your sole GTC4 driver. Michael Levitas in GTA 4. I think it bears mentioning that we talk about Michael Levitas because we didn't mention him before. He's the only driver in GTA 4, but he was the second fastest driver on track. He'll be starting on the outside of the front row when they race tomorrow. Rami Farid in his GTD 2 came in Club Sport, turned in a 1:16.672. He's your only GTD 2 driver. And he was ninth fastest in the group overall. And then Joseph Viola in GTC 8 in his 992 Cup car with a 1:13.610. And Joseph was your third fastest driver overall. So again, not competing with another car in class, but just absolutely smoking fast out there at a 1:13. He was only about a quarter of a second off of Levitas's times.
Yep.
All right, let's make another call to the grid for our first and only race today, Brian, and then we'll take a little break. Attention in the paddock. Silver Group drivers, please head to the grid. Silver Group drivers, please head to the grid. Your first race of the weekend starting in just a few moments. And with that, Brian and I are going to take a quick break. Thanks to some of our partners and sponsors. And when we come back, we'll be racing here at Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the PCA Potomac region, the founders region of the Porsche Club of America. Decision Technologies' experienced team of engineering and management specialists have significantly contributed to a wide array of crucial Department of Defense initiatives. Our streamlined management structures flexibly respond to customer requirements. Decision Technologies is driven by the foresight and knowledge required to advance the technical capabilities of our clients and help the nation succeed in most critical missions. Using a total systems approach, Decision Technologies provides high-quality, cost-effective technical support services. Decision Technologies' capabilities include system performance assessment, requirements definition, design trade studies, system architecture analysis, cost schedule trade studies, risk assessment, and operational evaluation. We match our capabilities to the needs of our customers. To see if they're a match for you, visit decision-tech.com. As a platinum sponsor, Decision Technologies is proud to support Rock the Summit 2025, the PCA Potomac Founders Region Club Race. We thank the 100-plus volunteers, the event planning team, and all the racers for this year's event.
Get ready for Rocky Mountain Thunder, the PCA race at High Plains Raceway in Colorado on September 20th and 21st. Rocky Mountain Region hosted the very first PCA club race in 1992 at Second Creek Racetrack, and the members of the Rocky Mountain Region take pride in this historic event. The region has run the race at Second Creek, at Pueblo Motorsports Park, and now at High Plains Raceway. This race will earn points towards the 2025 Mid-America Series, the 2025 West Coast Series, as well as the 2025 PCA National Championship Point Series. The race weekend will feature two 30-minute sprint races on Saturday and a 65-minute endurance race on Sunday. Registration can be found at clubregistration.net.
Fitzwater & Dean PLC is an accounting firm which dates back to 1954. We're proud that a number of clients who began with us over 50 years ago remain with us today, and we're equally proud that our business constantly grows with new clients. Our goal with all of our clients is to serve them for the next 50 years because we value relationships. We view every client relationship as a partnership and recognize that our success is a result of our clients' successes. Fitzwater & Dean are proud to be a gold-level sponsor helping support live streaming for PCA Club Racing, the first in the nation to do so. We thank all of the racers, crew, and their families, volunteers and spectators both at the track and now with live streaming, watching from around the world. Welcome back, everybody, to Summit Point Raceway. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit presented by the PCA Potomac region, the Founders region. And I'm Greg Ginsburg. That is Brian Donati, and we're bringing you our first and only race this afternoon here today. But we've got 2 more days of racing action, and this group, our vintage race group, the Silver Group, they're going to have 2 more races this weekend. Let's run down the starting order for their first race, however. Starting on pole today, driving the number 14 VGTX 1995 911 RSR, it's Corey Friedman. Shane Cease will start on the outside of the front row. He's in the 766 VO Class Porsche 911. That's the green 911. Jared Jacobs in the 531 Porsche 911 SC, that's a 1980 chassis. He's also running in the VO class. He starts third with Paul Amico, also in the VO class. He's in a 1971 Porsche 911, and he starts fourth. Starting on the inside of row number 3, driving the number 27 911 Cup class, 1984 911, it's Jason Nikic with Donald Enger starting the 6th. He's driving the number 50 1987 911 in the 911 Cup class. Then we've got Jeffrey Nieblum. He starts 7th today. He's driving the number 249 VO class 1969 Porsche Carrera RS. Scott Bresnahan will start on the outside of row number 4. He's in the 09 VO class car. That's a 1988 911 chassis. Then we've got Eugene Basha in the Pink Pig. He starts 9th today. He's driving the number 23 911 Cup car, or probably 911 Cup class, 1986 911. Dwayne Moses starting 10th. He's in the 641 car, also in the 911 Cup class. That's a 1982 SC chassis. Then starting 11th, Alan Friedman, also in the VO class. He's in a 1973 chassis RSR. Starting 12th today, Nader Fartui in the VU class. He's in a Porsche 914. That's a 1972 chassis. Starting lucky 13th today is David Dean. He's in a 1969 911. He's driving the VO class with Sandy Van Leen, your VO Plus class pole sitter in the 1973 911. He starts 14th. Del Rey 15th in the 521 car. And then Michael Ballo in VGTX. As the starter looks over the field, Brian, and green flag is in the air. We'll get through some of these other starters in just a moment, but they're starting from the inside lane. Corey Freeman in the VGTX machine ends up getting up in position to Shane Cease, who jumps out to an early lead, Brian.
Yeah, Greg, that is actually not Corey Freeman. That is actually Shane Cease going to take the lead there. He's going to jump over the lead over Jared Jacobs in that 531. So Corey Freeman, again, he was just out in that last group for the qualifying. He did not make the green for this race. If he did, he started all the way in the back. I'm not seeing that he crossed the start-finish line to take this. So again, Shane Cease out in front in that green 911 there in that VO class is starting to open up about a car length and a half. And now as we get down into turn 5, Jared Jacobs kind of closing the gap there a little bit. So we'll have to see how long that's going to battle out for. That's going to be not for only overall, but for the VO class with Paul Amico a little bit further back.
Yeah, and Don Enger making a move underneath Jason Nikic in the 911 Cup class, Brian. Now, I wasn't with you at Road America, but I do remember back to NJMP on the Thunderbolt circuit where that 911 Cup class was without a doubt the most closely contested class over the course of an entire weekend. As we were just on board, we've got onboard video from Eugene Basha in the pink number 23 machine. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better cell service there, as he is now side by side with Jason Nikic. Under braking going into one. It looks like Nikic was able to take the advantage. And then they've got Jeffrey Nieblum directly behind as well. So real tight, close racing already in the 911 Cup class, as Don Enger is, he's opened up, I don't know, a couple car lengths now on the rest of that 911 Cup field.
Yeah, pretty good run there by Donald Enger on that first opening lap, Greg, as they got through turn 3 and head down the other side of the hill to get in front of Jason Nikic. Looks like we may have had one car that maybe went 2 or 3 wheels off there coming up out of turn 3. But again, Donald Enger, really good run getting by Jason Nikic. And you said it best. these drivers, they have gone nose to tail kind of the entire last couple of weeks. We even saw it 2 weeks ago while we were at Road America in this group, where it came down the last 2 laps in this 911 Cup battle.
And here we go on board with Eugene Bosch's machine as they come out of turn 8, up the hill and under the bridge. And that's right where it broke up on the previous lap. But you can see how close they all are there. Right back behind Boscha, though, a good fight going on in the VO class. Jeffrey Nieblum in the 249, the blue 249 machine with Scott Bresnahan right back behind him. He's in the red 911 as well, as they are fighting for position. As again, good fight there as Boscha now under attack by Jason Nikic. Actually, I'd like to say that Nikic was under attack by Boscha because as they came out of turn 10, Boscha was the trailing car, and they are still locked door to door as they come into turn 3. It's going to be hard for Boscha to hold position there coming through turn 3. It's really a very sharp turn in, and there you go as Nikic manages to hold off the pink pit.
Yeah, we have seen here time and time again, Greg, where that outside line really is faster through turn 3. So Boscha really having to get harder on the brakes than he wanted to. The camera didn't do it justice. That is a harder left-hand turn there to kind of come up the hill, the top. So definitely had to give that position to Nikic. But I tell you what, a little bit further ahead of that is Paul Amico in that VO car. He is really trying to hold off Donald Anger. Donald Anger looks like maybe getting a little impatient trying to get past Paul Amico,
indeed.
because what that's definitely done is that has definitely brought in Nikic and Boscha, where he opened up about a 5-6 car length lead. That's now down to a car length.
It's gone. Yeah, exactly. And we saw this at New Jersey Motorsports Park that and I'm trying to remember who the 914 driver was that they were kind of caught behind, but that was the story of that entire weekend there, that they were all jockeying for position because they were essentially forced together by some of the cars just ahead, and we're seeing that perhaps once again as Amico definitely has a little bit more, as we call it, straight line handling, Brian, but it's a bit of a challenge for him when he gets down into the carousel, gets down into turn 5. That dark green and white machine just does not appear to want to rotate all that well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the cars that's really having a problem to stack the back half of this field up, Greg, is that 521 of Del Rey. Just came off pit road and kind of came into a cluster of cars. You're going to see it topping the hill here momentarily. You see, there's Del Rey kind of in the middle of that. That car just doesn't seem to be up to full song, and a lot of these other drivers a little bit further back really came up on the back bumper, had to make some evasive actions, especially going through turns 1 and 2.
So Brian, as we were watching that 911 Cup race, and as they were trying to find a way around Paul Amico, we mentioned during qualifying, of course, Paul Amico has and we've got a lot of smoke coming from one of our 914s. Actually, I think we saw that in qualifying as well. But Amico, he has his Fearless in the Kitchen YouTube channel, I think just about to hit about 250 episodes now, if I remember correctly. He is a nuclear and power engineering consultant, and seems a little, I would say, a little bit of a disconnect there. There is Amico as he's going through turn 3, being a nuclear engineer, and then having this cooking channel. But I'm sure those 911 Cup drivers right behind, and perhaps Don Anger in particular, are about to go nuclear behind him if they can't find a way around.
I was going to say they're probably going to go a little nuclear too, because they cannot.
That was the George Bush pronunciation of nuclear,
correct,
by the way.
Right.
Okay.
Anger's getting angry because he can't get by him, and it's kind of holding him up. And bringing the rest of that 911 Cup group right back to them, which is really kind of opening up, some, again, tough racing going on, as we had a pass for the overall lead as well, and in VO. So move Jared Jacobs up to the lead over Shane Cease as they go by the start-finish line. But here comes that battle with these 911s, and it does look like Amico now, Greg, has given that position up, and now 3 of our 911 Cup cars have gotten around him, to make that move.
Yeah, indeed, as Amico drops to the back of that line. Good move there. Looks like he, I don't know if Basha just kind of put the car underneath him, but Amico held that car out to the outside, going driver's left, going through turn 10, and allowed that race to go by. Probably a little less stress-inducing for Paul Amico at this point also, because he doesn't have to continue to necessarily check his mirrors and see what they're trying to do to get around him. And as you mentioned, Jared Jacobs taking over the lead in the VO class from our who ended up being our pole sitter, Shane Cease, in the green 911. So that yellow machine now your leader, and I'm starting to see a lot more oil smoke. I think, Brian, that may be some brake lockup going down into turn 5, but it is. It appears to be oil in a lot of places at this point, and maybe some dust that's been pulled back on the circuit as well.
Yeah, that's coming back out of the 78 machine there, Jeff Harridge, in there. So again, you can definitely see that even on the times going through. So as you said, what that does is, as a competitor coming up and you see that, you're not really sure what's being laid down, if anything. You've got to be careful when you try to go around there.
All right, so if we jump back up to that battle for the overall lead, the battle in VO, there it is right now coming through turns 1 and 2. Jared Jacobs, your leader. He was your 2019 Porsche Club of America Club Racing Rookie of the Year. I'm just going to say this. If Cease wants to get around Jared Jacobs, he's going to have to definitely play tough. Not saying anything about Jared Jacobs, the man, but he spent 20 years racing motorcycles, Brian.
Yeah.
And we know that when you end up racing cars, it's because you laid it all on the line and laid your body on the line racing motorcycles. I don't know a motorcycle racer who's gotten behind the wheel of a race car who hasn't broken many bones in his body and needs the cage.
Yeah, you're going to have to make... Yeah, you're going to have to get around him because he's not going to just let it go.
Exactly.
He's not afraid of anything at this point.
We just saw that going into turn 5. Cease, though, getting a great run out of turn 10. We'll watch here in a moment as they come onto the front straight to complete lap number 7, starting lap number 8. And Jacobs shuffles over just a little bit, about a quarter of a car width to driver's right. To try and just tell Cease that he's going to have to work a little harder if he wants to outbrake him and going into the brake zone there. Cease opens up the corner, takes the traditional turn in, hoping that he gets a better run out of the corner. And as Jacobs maybe compromised his exit speed a little bit. But Cease, he's going to have to stick right in there, right underneath the rear wing of that yellow 1980 SC.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many laps or how much seat time Jared has around this racetrack. I can tell you Shane Cease has got a lot of time around this racetrack,
sure.
Knows this racetrack very, very well, especially in that car. That, not getting through that corner the best he wanted to, as you can see where that's opened up with Donald. But Shane will look to where he can make that move at some point, as you talked about a minute ago. Got through turn 10 really, really good last time. Mm-hmm. Look for that to happen again. A little bit further back, Greg, in that 911 cut, Jason Nikic has gotten around Donald Anger. So starting to open it up that by about a car length and a half. And just as I talked about it, if we look down, if we can, Jordan, down into turn number 1, you can see where the Shane Cease machine in that number 766, he's going to go side by side with Jared Jacobs, down into turn number 1, not going to give it up. He knew where that line was going to be, knew where he was faster, kind of moved a little bit there into the center of the racetrack. And Jared Jacobs now, and Greg, that's a pretty big lead now, so I'm not sure if Jared had to get on the brakes.
Yeah, that Jacobs didn't get back to the throttle very early here, and I'm a little surprised by the gap that's just been opened up here. That Cease now, as he opens up about 7-8 car lengths just in this very short span. Well, we'll see if Jacobs can fight back. So I want to jump to another battle if we can. This is the battle in VO Plus. We've got the blue early 70s 911, there you go, and the white cup car. And And here they come under braking. Yep, exactly. Now they've got a driver that's going to complicate things, I think, a little bit here in that fight between Van Leen and Mulligan, and I believe, Van Leen and Fartui, and I think that's Bob Mulligan, who might have just been able to put himself right in the middle of that fight. Actually, let me correct myself. The VO Plus, that's Van Leen and Mulligan, and the other car that just jumped in. I'm sorry about that. I think. It might be Dos Santos, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that battle that you're talking about is a little bit further back. They're just now crossing the start-finish line now.
Correct.
They actually have Alex Farragut in that 229, another 911.
The green 911
kind
in there,
of in between there. She's kind of backed out, let them go a little bit. So that is your battle for that VO Plus class. Greg, you were talking about going down through turn number 1. And like I said, Farragut getting out of the throttle, letting them go by a little bit with Van Leen and Mulligan.
Thank you for cleaning up my mess, Brian.
That's perfectly okay. Two cars that look like the identical same colors, and then you had the one car in between. So it's kind of hard to tell, but
thanks,
I can tell you that they were both Porsches. As now Farragut tries to get back into the middle of this group for this race, and they're going to go really wide, and they're going to open up that corner. And we've seen that a lot here, Greg, where that could be sometimes the fastest way around. And what that's done is that has actually moved Mulligan ahead of Sandy Van Leen in that 118 machine. So, again, as Farragut gets a little bit loose coming off that corner right there, that car not set up probably to her liking as well.
No, definitely not. All right, so, Brian, we are now just about halfway through this silver group race, so let's do this. And by the way, this race brought to you by GT Racing as we go back on board with Eugene Basha. And Basha running third right now in 911 Cup, and just behind the blue 27 of Jason Nikic. And still, I mean, this is when I was with you at New Jersey Motorsports Park at the Thunderbolt circuit. This is what we saw all weekend long. Just some wonderful racing here as they get into that small little groove, a little bit of camber there at turn 3 and motor out. But I want to see here as Basha comes down the hill if he tries to make up some ground under braking, because it is so tough to get these cars slowed down at the bottom of the hill. And you see the brake lock up there, Brian, from Donald to Anger, and the car pushed really wide. The white car at the front from Anger pushed really deep down into turn 5, and it allowed Jason Nikic to close up a little bit more.
Tell you what, Greg, and yeah, we're gonna let's see if we can't stay on board here really quickly here for a minute. As he goes down, it looks like it's going to be. I think we're going to see here where we go to get into turn number, and all of a sudden it's going to cut out. But Eugene Basha is now ended up in the gravel into turn number 10. So as that camera cut out, he got in there a little bit too hard, and he's kind of buried, trying to move. He's trying to move, but this is where I think it's going to get stuck right here.
You're right about there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be about
it. That gravel trap is so deep, Brian, that he's going to need to get. And there you go, just shut the whole motor down. Mm-hmm. Looks like he's done. Hi, Eugene. He's looking in the mirror back at us. Checking to make sure.
Hope you guys didn't get that on camera. Off. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Hope we're not on camera right now. Yeah.
But we had gotten call, and I think as he was coming in, Brian, that there was another car that was off there as well over by turn 10, and trying to determine who that was. Was that possibly Del Al Rey in the blue Cup car?
521 right there, just now coming through your screenshot.
Okay.
Down through the screen there, but he may have put 2 tires off, but again, that was a product of, as well as I think that Basha trying to make up ground on Nikic is now Donald Anger has gotten back around Jason Nikic, so moved Donald Anger back up, and Greg, Jared Jacobs in that 531, he's actually fallen back behind that group there in that 911 with Donald Anger and Jason Nikic. So move them two up second and third overall, and then that's still the battle for the 911 Cup. So a lot of going on here towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and so, Brian, this is probably the perfect time then, as Eugene Basha tries to find a way to get his car out of the Turn 10 gravel trap, that we take a little break. Thanks to some of our partners and sponsors. And when we come back, we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag here in the first race of a wonderful weekend of racing coming up. It's the 2025 Rock the Summit, presented by the PCA Potomac region of the Porsche Club of America. We'll be back.
A household name in U.S. road racing for nearly 25 years, Toyo Tires has forged a reputation for winning, performance, and consistency. From the company's legendary Proxys RA1 to the two-groove Proxys RR, they have a history of getting drivers to the winner's circle. Their quality and performance extends beyond the track, offering owners a full line of premium tires for coupes to Cayenne. They are proud to build many of the tires right here in the United States at their state-of-the-art factory in Bartow County, Georgia. We thank them for their support of Porsche Club of America through club racing and the high-performance driver education program. Be sure to check out their contingency program if you race SP1 or Spec Boxster. To learn more about the full line of Toyo tires, visit www.toyotires.com.
Stable Energies takes pride in offering racers the very best in motorsport performance and safety equipment since 1978. Owner Bob Kikasik has been a PCA member for over 35 years and started club racing with PCA during its very first season. Located in northern New Jersey, Stable Energy stocks a wide variety of racing gear and motorsport products from top-quality brands like O&P, Alpine Stars, Bell, Hans, Schroth, Paget, and Bray Kraus. Stable Energies is a master distributor for Recaro and the U.S. importer for safety devices roll cages, as well as the Eastern U.S. distributor for RSS Porsche Performance parts. You can shop with Stable Energies on their website, stableenergies.com. You can call and speak to a knowledgeable salesperson. They're happy to answer any of your questions. Or you can have one-on-one personal attention at their retail location just 10 minutes from New York City. PCA members receive special deals, so be sure to mention PCA Club Racing. Whether your fire system needs to be serviced, you need advice about a new race seat or radio system, or you want to try on the coolest looking new driver suit, Stable Energies has you covered.
Motion Control Suspension, or MCS, has proven to be the evolution of premium motorsports damper systems. Their team is continuously developing and refining damper technology that is vastly different from other manufacturers, developed through hands-on involvement in GT and touring car racing. While their roots are in the highest levels of professional sports car racing, their products excel in all environments, from enthusiastic street driving to autocross track days to club racing and far beyond. MCS is much more than just a great product. They have many years of practical racing experience, both on and off the track, extensive knowledge of vehicle dynamics, and an understanding of driver expectations and needs. MCS is proud to be a sponsor of Porsche Club Racing and invites you to lean on their expertise for setup support and consultation.
Welcome back to Summit Point Raceway in the 2025 Rock the Summit. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Brian Donati. This vintage race, the first of 3 this weekend, presented by GT Racing. And Brian, just as we were about ready to come back from break, we saw another big change in the 911 Cup class. First, we saw Eugene Basha before the break take a ride into the gravel trap, bringing out a local caution there, and we think the emergency services teams have had him forcibly removed. But then Jason Nikic with his problems down at turn 1.
Yeah, definitely trying to get in as hard as he could to try to make up a little bit of the gap over Donald Anger, where Donald Anger, really started to open up a little bit, and that was just a product of got into turn 1 a little bit too hot. Car snapped around, went off driver's left, and was able to continue. So that battle in 911 Cup now is that's opened up. That's about a 10.5-second lead for Donald Anger, who continues to battle with Jared Jacobs. And going through there as we were just coming to break, they were coming up on Del Rey, and Jacobs was able to get ahead of Donald Anger. Donald Anger, you could just clearly see it coming out of turn 2, just basically said, you know what, go ahead, you go. There they are right there. You see the gap right there. I'm not racing you right now, knowing that Nikic has gone off because he looked in the rearview mirror, didn't see him, knows he's got a pretty good lead right there.
Yeah, exactly. He's got nothing that he has to fight for at this moment. And as we thought, when Shane Cease had gotten around Jared Jacobs, we thought that maybe Jacobs had dropped off the pace a little bit. He's running now about a second and a half off of his fastest lap times. But I wanted to go back to that incident just a few moments ago where we saw Nikic go into the gravel trap at 1. It was right after he had run his fastest lap of the session so far, Brian, and I'm wondering if he just didn't get into the brake zone maybe 2 or 3 miles an hour faster than he had all session, and just, as you said, he was trying to make up ground on Donald Anger, and he probably came in a little bit hotter than he's been coming in, and just ended up just botching the whole braking event down there at 1.
Yeah, I mean, you get to a point where you get a good run, and first thing that goes through your head is, man, I really got through there. And I'm not saying this is exactly what happened with Jason, but hey, I really got through turn 10 really good. This is really going to set me up. You go through there, and then you get down in turn 1, you go, uh-oh. Not used to being here this quickly, right? So
the eyes go wide,
and so you're ended up, just not sure where you really need to be, and you just miss your spot. You miss your braking zone. You miss your turn in, and the car just doesn't want to turn.
Yeah. All right, and so that battle that I was trying to get us caught up to a little bit earlier, Brian, in VO Plus between Bob Mulligan and Sandy Van Leen. Unfortunately, that has it's not much of a race any longer, as Mulligan now has almost 13 seconds on the blue 911 car of Van Leen. And in VU, Nader Fartui with almost 25 seconds on Dean Druyer. So, again, we'll continue to watch in VO and in 911 Cup, where still very, very close fights going on here.
Well, VO Plus, you were talking about it with Van Leen and Mulligan, and Mulligan just able to get through some of the traffic that they came up on a lot cleaner. It's not that Van Leen's time frames are that much difference, although the last lap was about a 2-second difference between Mulligan and Van Leen, but Mulligan was able to get through certain parts of the racetrack and traffic a little bit better, and that separated it out, and now he's got clean air there, so able to really separate himself there in that battle.
All right. And so, Brian, as things are starting to wind down here with our first of 3 days of coverage from Summit Point Raceway in the 2025 Rock the Summit, the folks that we're watching right now are vintage racers in this silver group. They're going to lead off our coverage tomorrow morning here from Summit Point. You don't want to miss this, because we're going to have a full day of racing across all 4 of our race groups. And all the action starts at 9:45 tomorrow morning. That's Eastern time, because we're kind of sort of on the East Coast. So make sure to join us. And then we're going to have more action on Sunday. Sunday is Endurance Day here at Summit Point Raceway. And starting at 9:25 in the morning, we're going to have two 90-minute enduros filled with your favorite Porsche racers, so you don't want to miss that. Lots of action tomorrow, lots of action Sunday here from Summit Point.
Yeah, going to be a great run on Sunday, as you said here. Again, throwing 30, 35 cars in each group, more or less, out here for 90 minutes at a time, Greg. That's really where it's going to come down to see where the strategy plays out. Looks like everybody's kind of gotten single file, here, Greg, just kind of trying to finish up with about 4 minutes left to go in this race here, just trying to really get through it, because, as you said, this is the first group that comes out tomorrow morning. So not only is it the last group of the day on track for on track activities today, but it also, they come right back first thing in the morning as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, we will. I'm just so looking forward to this. And Brian, as I think has been some of the ads that we're running, mentioned that the PCA Potomac region and this event in particular, Rock the Summit, was the very first live stream Porsche Club of America club race, and you and I had the honor of coming out last year for this event, and it's obviously turned into so much more, as I think this is our 9th event of the year for Porsche Club of America Club Racing, and we've got at least one more event on the schedule, I believe.
Yeah, I believe our last one of the year will be COTA in November. So looking forward to that. But again, it's our 9th one of the season here. But it really all, as you just said, Greg, it all started right here. This is where it all came to fruition, and we were able to kind of get this moving. So it's been fantastic to see what the last year has been.
Yeah, indeed. Want to thank, all the folks from Porsche Club of America, the PCA Potomac region, who had such faith in us last year, and some great folks like Connor Henderson and Van Svensson from the Porsche Club of America club office, and that also had faith in what we did and what we do. So great to be here with y'all this weekend. But we're not done yet, Brian. We still have 2 minutes, a little bit, probably about 2 more laps remaining for our leaders, Shane Cease and Jared Jacobs, as Cease is now starting.
Sheesh.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Sheesh. Shane Cease start working lap number 21 here as he is working his way through the field.
Not only are you going to get him after, you're going to get your buddy Chip Herr after you too by mispronouncing his name. Now there we go. We got to bring Chip Herr's name into it.
This is why I said Shane's going to have a busy September and early October likely. I think here.
Looks like we've got Del Rey on pit road, and looking at this car coming down pit road, Greg, I'm not sure if he doesn't have something going on with that right front of that car. Looks a little bit lower than normal, definitely slow, but it's hard to see. But anyway, Del Rey on pit road, and that car is, he's had some problems with that car pretty much all race long. The 65 as well, as he comes by the start-finish line. Nando Silva Pinto is having a problem when he came through there. So
yeah, it's been a tough race for the VGTU folks. Nando Silva Pinto in a 1972 911 chassis. Your leader in the class, Jeff Harridge, who was his only competitor in the class, driving the yellow 1970 914. Harridge brought the car down the pit lane, I believe, at the end of lap number 9.
Yeah,
and only completing 9 laps. So Silva Pinto, he's got 8 laps on Harridge at this point. If he wanted to bring the car in, he could. If he is having problems with it.
Well, he's only got one more lap to go, so try to finish it out. There goes Shane Cease now going down into turn number 5. That's the second green car right there. He is working his last lap, last couple of corners. So the one to go is out for everybody here. So next time Shane Cease comes by the start-finish line right there, he is going to be receiving that checkered flag. Just in front of him is Alex Farragut, so she's trying to be able to hold him back a little bit more so that she can get one more lap.
Yeah, and so Shane won this class, I believe, in both 2018 and also 2023. And he's going to win at least race 1 here today at Summit Point Raceway and Rock the Summit. The 19-year PCA region member and racer from the Central Pennsylvania region takes the win in the VO class and is your overall winner with Jared Jacobs. We'll see him coming across the line here in just a few moments along with Paul Amico. There you go, Jacobs right there. There's the yellow 911 crossing the line with Amico finishing in 3rd just now, coming to the painted start-finish line here at Summit Point. They'll finish 1, 2, and 3 in the VO class. Jeffrey Nieblum will finish in 4th, with Scott Bresnahan finishing in 5th. In the 911 Cup class, Brian, Don Enger with Jason Nikic finishing 2nd. Nikic just went by us in that blue number 27. Alex Farragut, great run for Alex in the green number 229 Cup car. Of course, we've talked to Alex a number of times on our broadcasts and she is, like I said, I know she had some challenges at New Jersey Motorsports Park, Brian, but she has in her old chassis, her 944, and also in this 911, a lot of seat time here at Summit, and she's definitely picking up the pace. Nate Dos Santos finishes in fourth, just off the podium in 911 Cup, with Lenny Stan finishing fifth. In the VU class, Dean Dreyer will take the win over Nader Fertui, who finishes 2 laps down. In VO, Bob Mulligan takes that win over Sandy Van Leen. Nando Silva Pinto takes the win in VGTU over Jeff Herridge. And then we had our single car classes in VGTO. Wyatt Isbell is your winner. He finishes 12th overall. And then in VGTX, Michael Ballo finishes 14th overall, again, the sole driver in the class. So that's going to wrap things up here from Summit Point Raceway for day number 1 of 3. As we've told you, we're going to be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Well, maybe not so early. 9:25 a.m. when our vintage racers, the Silver Group here, takes to the track for their second of 3 races this weekend. And it's going to be Brian, it's going to be me, it's going to be Brendan Kazmarek from Driver's Eye Live, and Jordan Worth, our director, here as well. Any last thoughts, Brian?
No, I think we're good. I think, when we get to this weekend, sorry, we were trying to collect my thoughts there. You kind of got me.
Sorry.
I think we're going to see some really good action here, especially in this Silver Group, and I think once we get to our our GT groups as well, I think that's going to be some pretty good racing again on this type of a racetrack that has a lot of flow. You're going to see these cars really go after it.
That's right. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for, Brian. So make sure to join us tomorrow morning, 9:45 a.m. for day 2 of 2025's Rock the Summit, presented by the Founders Region of the Porsche Club of America, the Potomac region. And we'll see you tomorrow. Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control. When you pack up from the raceway and head home on the highway, remember that the engineering excellence Michelin strives for in racing is applicable to our passenger and light truck tires too. Michelin is proud to continue its national sponsorship of Porsche Club of America and Club Racing. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Looking to decrease lap times on the track without an engine overhaul? GT Racing has a wide range of fiberglass and carbon fiber body panels, along with European Racing headers, exhaust systems to lighten your car and accelerate all the potential horsepower of your engine. Time for a change? Convert your 944 into a turbo or a 924 GT, or your 911 to a 911 RS, RSR, or 935. Talk with Joel at GT Racing. He'll help you choose the winning combination of lightweight Porsche parts and header systems to set you on the right track. GT Racing is your one-stop shop for your Porsche needs. GT Racing is a national sponsor and proudly sponsors tech inspections at PCA Club races. GT Racing also sponsors the Best Repaired Car Award, a $100 gift certificate at each race. Call Joel at GT Racing today at 1-800-797-2911 or find us on the web at www.gt-racing.com.
Our first club racing sponsor, Porsche Cars North America, funds the club racing news and sponsors the Workers' Choice Award, considered the most prestigious award given at a club race. Thank you to PCNA for offering vital support to our club racing program.
At Hankook Tire, we strive to create a universal moment when the car and driver become one. Our aim is to develop a safer, more pleasant, and more comfortable driving experience from the moment the driver turns on the engine. Through strong braking power, smooth handling, driving comfort, and guaranteed safety, Hankook products deliver an authentic driving experience beyond mobility. Our tires provide total control of speed and direction while ensuring safety and comfort on the road. Embrace driving emotion and embrace the feel and excitement of being behind the wheel with Hankook Tire. Hankook competition tires are the perfect match of performance and longevity. Visit HankookMotorsports.com to buy today.
OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget, and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000 square foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
We're not just a one-off experience, we're a call to freedom. We're a place in people's minds where everyone can unleash their wild side with a passport to a world of possibilities, a spirit that breaks all the rules, uniting the famously bold and spirited essence of tequila from Mexico with the much-loved richness of peanut butter. Manabal is the bold embodiment of the party animal within us all. Here is where the ethics starts. Tequila can be purchased nationwide at manabaltequila.com.
Club Reg is a supporter of PCA Club Racing and the provider of all registration for each of our races. ClubRegistration.net is unique service because we put all of our customers first. You can use our services for free or with a small credit card handling fee. How can you go wrong? Included with both are custom solutions tailored to meet your needs. Find out more information at ClubRegistration.net.
OG Racing has been a national sponsor of PCA Club Racing since 1998. Headquartered in Sterling, Virginia, and staffed by PCA members and club racers, OG Racing has always carried the industry's best in racing safety equipment and performance parts. The best products from manufacturers like Sparco, OMP, Alpine Stars, helmets from Bell, Stilo, Rue, brake pads from Performance Friction, Paget, and Hawk, just to name a few, and are always in stock and ready to ship from their 12,000 square foot warehouse. Give OG Racing a call or visit them at www.ogracing.com and sign up for their newsletter.
About to hit the track without coverage for your car? Buy HPDE insurance in minutes at LockedInMotorsports.com. Whether you drive a 911 or a Boxster, protect your car against physical damage during HPDE and track day events with HPD insurance from Locked In Motorsports, administered by Locked In Affinity. Coverage includes modifications you've done to your car, 2 drivers at each event, demonstration laps your instructor drives, and more. Worried about the trip home? Locked In Motorsports also offers off-track insurance for your non-licensed race car or track car while in transit, in storage, and in the paddock, plus options for your trailer, equipment, and tools. Insure your portion today at LockedInMotorsports.com.
Miller's Oils is proud to be a Porsche Club Racing sponsor and to work with Racer's Edge as their North American distributor. Miller's Oils has been blending oil since 1887 and has an extensive product line for virtually every street or racetrack application. The technology implemented in Miller's engine oil and gear oils protects the wear surfaces of your engine and gear train on a microscopic level, significantly reducing friction and increasing the life of your engine and gear train. We encourage you to try Miller's and judge for yourself with the help of an oil sample analysis. As they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Pirelli and Porsche have been a winning combination around the racing world for years. Pirelli is proud to bring that relationship to PCA Club Racing yet again in 2025. Make sure to see the guys from Frisbee and find the right Pirelli tire for your vehicle, or check them out on the web at frisbeeracetire.com. Pirelli powers nothing without control.
Based in New Jersey, Precision Motorsports, or PMR, is a supporter of club racing and a new national sponsor for 2025. From the latest Cup cars to 944 racers, PMR has supported them all here at the track. True experts in their craft and dedicated to performance. Find them on Facebook at Precision Motorsports.
New for 2025, Isringhausen will be sponsoring the GTD 1, 2, and 3 classes. Our group here at Club Racing are thrilled to have them on board. Over the past 30 years, Isringhausen has become synonymous with quality vehicles and superb service. The Isringhausen way of doing business has been one of offering excellent products at fair prices, coupled with service that goes above and beyond what anyone would expect from a typical car dealership. We believe that good service is comprised of 2 components: a willing and helpful attitude, accompanied by competency in your field. We try to support an environment where each person who works here strives to serve each customer as they wish to be served, with dignity and respect. Because of these core values, Isringhausen has become and will continue to be a leading example in the industry.
One of our latest partners, Track Day Tire, is happy to be supporting Club Racing through their Toyo, Hoosier, and Michelin tires. Use the code PCACR for a discount at checkout. The TrackDayTire.com Baum team is passionate about helping our customers extract the highest level of performance from their vehicles on the track. Decades of on-track experience has taught us purpose-designed track-use tires are arguably the single most important vehicle component that influences driver confidence to obtain maximum vehicle performance. Making it easier for our fellow track day enthusiasts to obtain confidence-inspiring tires is our goal. We look forward to providing you access to the best prices and customer support in the industry.
A household name in U.S. road racing for nearly 25 years, Toyo Tires has forged a reputation for winning, performance, and consistency. From the company's legendary Proxys RA1 to the two-groove Proxys RR, they have a history of getting drivers to the winner's circle. Their quality and performance extends beyond the track, offering owners a full line of premium tires for coupes to Cayennes. They are proud to build many of the tires right here in the United States at their state-of-the-art factory in Bartow County, Georgia. We thank them for their support of Porsche Club of America through club racing and the high-performance driver education program. Be sure to check out their contingency program if you race SP1 or Spec Boxster. To learn more about the full line of Toyo tires, visit www.toyotires.com.
Stable Energies takes pride in offering racers the very best in motorsport performance and safety equipment since 1978. Owner Bob Kikasik has been a PCA member for over 35 years and started club racing with PCA during its very first season. Located in northern New Jersey, Stable Energy stocks a wide variety of racing gear and motorsport products from top-quality brands like O&P, Alpine Stars, Bell, Hans, Schroth, Paget, and Bray Kraus. Stable Energies is a master distributor for Recaro and the U.S. importer for safety devices roll cages, as well as the Eastern U.S. distributor for RSS Porsche Performance parts. You can shop with Stable Energies on their website, stableenergies.com. You can call and speak to a knowledgeable salesperson. They're happy to answer any of your questions. Or you can have one-on-one personal attention at their retail location just 10 minutes from New York City. PCA members receive special deals, so be sure to mention PCA Club Racing. Whether your fire system needs to be serviced, you need advice about a new race seater radio system, or you want to try on the coolest looking new driver suits, Stable Energies has yet covered.
Motion Control Suspension, or MCS, has proven to be the evolution of premium motorsports damper systems. Their team is continuously developing and refining damper technology that is vastly different from other manufacturers, developed through hands-on involvement in GT and touring car racing. While their roots are in the highest levels of professional sports car racing, their products excel in all environments, from enthusiastic street driving to autocross track days to club racing and far beyond. MCS is much more than just a great product. They have many years of practical racing experience both on and off the track, extensive knowledge of vehicle dynamics, and an understanding of driver expectations and needs. MCS is proud to be a sponsor of Porsche Club Racing and invites you to lean on their expertise for setup support and consultation.
Partners of club racing for over 30 years, Eurosport Porsche Road and Race is a Porsche specialty shop with 2 locations in Illinois operating since 1984. Whether you have an early air-cooled car from the 60s or Porsche's newest cup car, we can provide all your service and parts needs. We are the one-stop shop for all of your Porsche repairs and race builds with a large inventory of Porsche parts and race gear.
Apex Racing Performance, premier racing outfitters, provides racing equipment and product support to motorsports enthusiasts. A member of PCA since 1991, Clark Hammerly and his wife Linda both hold competitive racing licenses and install, use, and test the equipment they sell. This enables them to provide unbiased technical assistance on installation and use of their products. From helmets and race apparel to personal cooling and fire systems, Apex Performance also stocks performance friction brake pads for all Porsche applications. They invite you to visit their showroom in Merle's Inlet, South Carolina, shop online at www.apexperformance.net, call toll-free, or view their track schedule online. Mention PCA Club Racing to receive a discount on your next purchase.
Demon Speed Motorsports offers a full line of products for your race or track car. With their background in Porsche GT3 Cup cars, they bring the same quality and durability to the street and track replacement parts that they produce. These products include suspension links, motorsport-style center lock parts and kits, brake rotors, and wing uprights. Now, Good Arrow Wings and RacingTireWarmers.com are part of the Demon Speed family. With this, they now offer Good Arrow Wings with mounting solutions for most Porsche models. Racing Tire Warmers offer tire warmers to custom fit your race car to make you faster and safer on track. To learn more about Demon Speed Motorsports and see their great products, visit them at www.demonspeedmotorsports.com.
Trailix Trailer sets the standard for super lightweight, superior craftsmanship, and extraordinary quality. If you need a trailer, whether it be enclosed or open to tow your Porsche, Trailix should be your first and only choice. Trailix has many sizes to fit your Porsche perfectly, and their unique touches ensure that your trailer will be as functional as it is beautiful. Trailix Trailers sponsors the Novice Racer Award, a gift certificate given to the second-time racer who exemplifies the club racing spirit.
Founders Region Racing is comprised of dedicated PCA Potomac Founders Region members who have united to become a gold-level sponsor for 2025's Rock the Summit. We're proud to support this premier event for our region and thank the hundreds of volunteers, racers, crew, and spectators who make this event the best club race in the nation. As we say, it's not just the cars, it's the people. Here's to Rock the Summit 2025.
Kansas City region is excited to host their second annual club race in the rolling hills of the Ozarks. The 2025 Race the Roller Coaster Club Race will be held on September 27th and 28th at Ozark International Raceway. The challenging 3.97-mile, 19-quarter course has almost 1,500 feet of combined elevation change per lap. The track is in Gravois Mills, Missouri, a few hours from Kansas City. There will be 3 sprint races, one on Saturday, followed by a happy hour with drinks and refreshments, and 2 on Sunday. Both days will have charity parade laps during lunch and give friends and family a taste of the roller coaster. The points races at this club race will earn points towards the 2025 Mid-America Series as well as the 2025 PCA National Championship Points Series. Register at clubregistration.net.
With almost 250 episodes and counting, Fearless in the Kitchen, a YouTube cooking channel by Potomac, is dedicated to sharing hints on cooking from the heart and head with ingredients from around the world. Paul's cooking is his passion and he wants to share it with you. Although there are recipes, Paul's emphasis is on creating from what you have on hand at the time as an inspiration and using old, new, and original techniques. Just grab stuff and make it work. That's where the name comes from, Fearless in the Kitchen. Paul provides ideas on variations of the dishes, but really hopes that you'll see opportunities to put your own twist and add the flavors and ingredients that you prefer. No fancy video effects or editing, just clear and easy to follow demonstrations, so come and join along on this voyage. Paul tries to post a new episode every Saturday and hopes that you enjoy. As a platinum sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, Paul's recipes will be featured at the Friday Volunteer Dinner as a thank you to the hardworking and dedicated volunteers who make this event possible.
The last PCA East Coast race of the season is at Carolina Motorsports Park, October 17th through 19th. The Carolinas Challenge is held at the 2.3-mile road course that's about an hour south of Charlotte. The event will feature the Vintage Class runoffs, 3 sprint races, and a 65-minute endurance race on Sunday. Wind down after Friday's practice with a social presented by Narrow Escape Motorsports, and after Saturday's sprint races, enjoy the award ceremony in full Southern hospitality with music and barbecue. Visit clubregistration.net to sign up.
At Foundry Wealth Advisors, we believe that every client deserves our full and focused attention, the kind of attention required for smarter decision-making and effective goals-based financial planning. The atmosphere at Foundry Wealth Advisors is one of camaraderie and collaboration. Our people work together intensely, giving you a top-to-bottom, big-picture perspective. At Foundry Wealth Advisors, we view wealth management differently. To us, it's not only about investing your money, it's about investing in a relationship. Redefining wealth management means we really get to know our clients, their businesses, and their needs, and that we take a bird's eye view of your financial picture. Ask the right questions and hard work to help you understand the issues and risks you face. Our clients call us their financial therapists or their personal CFOs, but no matter how they describe us, it's clear they're experiencing a different way of working. By remaining in continual contact and checking frequently, we're able to achieve the type of working relationship where there are no surprises, which means our clients are able to make a more informed decision in achieving their goals. Foundry Wealth Advisors is proud to be a platinum sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, and we thank all the volunteers, racers, and crew for their participation.
Maverick Region PCA is excited to announce their Eagles Canyon 2 Club Race on October 11th and 12th. They will be racing the counterclockwise 2.7-mile course with 15 turns and over 200 feet of elevation change. All races have points towards the PCA National and Mid-America Championships. Expect 2 practices, qualifying, and a 30-minute sprint race on Saturday, and 2 additional sprint races on Sunday, one 30 minutes long and one 40 minutes long. Podium-winning trophies for race classes with a 4+ car count and additional awards will be presented at the Saturday evening banquet at the Over the Top Bar and Grill at Eagles Canyon Raceway. Register today at clubregistration.net.
The Aaron Levitas Foundation was founded to prevent sexual assault by educating youth about boundaries, consent, and empathy using restorative approaches. Our mission is to reduce the incidence of sexual assault and help those who have experienced it heal. If we can stop sexual harassment early, we can reduce sexual assault and rape. To learn more about our many programs and initiatives, please visit our website at aaronlevitas.org. The Aaron Levitas Foundation is honored to be the charity partner for this year's Rock the Summit PCA Founders Region Club Race. We thank all the racers and volunteers for helping support our cause. Please check out our auction in person or online by scanning the QR code. All monies raised help support our mission. Located in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and serving the entire Washington, D.C. metro area for over 20 years, EuroPros Collision Center is a family-owned and operated business specializing in high-end European and Asian collision repair. Their owner, Derek Ford, and his team of highly trained certified technicians are dedicated to providing exceptional service and ensuring that your vehicle receives the highest level of care. As a certified collision center for Porsche, Audi, and Lexus, and accepting all major insurance coverage, EuroPros is well known for its expertise in luxury vehicles, utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and techniques in conjunction with OEM parts to ensure quality repairs and customer satisfaction, returning your vehicle to pre-accident condition. To find out more, visit them at europroscollisioncenter.com or call them at 301-977-7475. As a gold sponsor of this year's Rock the Summit 2025, EuroPros Collision Center is pleased to support PCA Club Racing and this premier annual event.
The Carrera of the Americas on November 22nd and 23rd at COTA in Austin, Texas, is the final PCA Club race of the 2025 season. Hosted by the Hill Country, Lone Star, and Maverick regions, the Circuit of the Americas, a Formula One venue, is a 3.4-mile, 20-turn track and is one of the most challenging in the United States. There will be 2 race groups contesting for the final season points toward the 2025 PCA Club Racing National Point Series and the 2025 Mid-America Championship Series. This event is limited to just 100 racers. To mark your calendars for registration, open October 6th at clubregistration.net.
Radial Tire Company is your trusted provider of high-quality, new tires, custom aftermarket wheels, and tire repair and maintenance services. We are dedicated to giving you the very best tire experience, focusing on upfront and honest quotes, timely response to issues, and quality products and parts. Since 1976, Radial Tire Company has provided the Washington, D.C. area, including Bethesda, Arlington, Washington, and surrounding areas with quality tires and the most exemplary service. We have earned a reputation as the premier specialist in hard-to-find performance tire and wheel applications, stocking tires from all top manufacturers for whatever you drive, from small economy cars to SUVs and trucks. Our mission is to assist you in getting the most out of your tires and car. For more information, visit radialtirecompany.com or call them at 301-585-2740. Radial Tire Company is pleased to provide gold-level sponsorship to this year's Rock the Summit 2025. Thank you to all the volunteers who make this year's event such a success. Decision Technologies' experienced team of engineering and management specialists have significantly contributed to a wide array of crucial Department of Defense initiatives. Our streamlined management structures flexibly respond to customer requirements. Decision Technologies is driven by the foresight and knowledge required to advance the technical capabilities of our clients and help the nation succeed in most critical missions. Using a total systems approach, Decision Technologies provides high-quality, cost-effective technical support services. Decision Technologies' capabilities include system performance assessment, requirements definition, design trade studies, system architecture analysis, cost schedule trade studies, risk assessment, and operational evaluation. We match our capabilities to the needs of our customers. To see if they're a match for you, visit decision-tech.com. As a platinum sponsor, Decision Technologies is proud to support Rock the Summit 2025, the PCA Potomac Founders Region Club Race. We thank the 100-plus volunteers, the event planning team, and all the racers for this year's event.
Get ready for Rocky Mountain Thunder, the PCA race at High Plains Raceway in Colorado on September 20th and 21st. Rocky Mountain Region hosted the very first PCA Club race in 1992 at Second Creek Racetrack, and the members of the Rocky Mountain Region take pride in this historic event. The region has run the race at Second Creek, at Puebla Motorsports Park, and now at High Plains Raceway. This race will earn points towards the 2025 Mid-America Series, the 2025 West Coast Series, as well as the 2025 PCA National Championship Point Series. The race weekend will feature two 30-minute sprint races on Saturday and a 65-minute endurance race on Sunday. Registration can be found at clubregistration.net.
Fitzwater and Dean PLC is an accounting firm which dates back to 1954. We're proud that a number of clients who began with us over 50 years ago remain with us today, and we're equally proud that our business constantly grows with new clients. Our goal with all of our clients is to serve them for the next 50 years because we value relationships. We view every client relationship as a partnership and recognize that our success is a result of our clients' successes. Fitzwater and Dean are proud to be a gold-level sponsor helping support live streaming for PCA Club Racing, the first in the nation to do so. We thank all of the racers, crew, and their families, volunteers and spectators both at the track and now with live streaming, watching from around the world.